we had a day of rain and snow here in D.C. yesterday, and that's causing some field condition issues. Both coaches came out here before the game to check out the field, and there are some problems, a couple nasty spots, especially one down near the end zone. Coach Zorn said it's going to affect what they do when they get into those spots. Coach Payton says this field is going to get torn up as the game goes along. Both coaches say it's a screw-in cleat day. If not, there's going to be a lot of slipping going on. Back to you.
Sean Sweesham to kick it off for Washington. The Redskins at 3-8. Going against the undefeated New Orleans Saints, and we're underway. Roby comes up on the run, takes the short kick at the 15, finds a lane, and is brought down at the 33 by Quentin Ganther.
When you talk about that group at the line of scrimmage having a very good season.
They come out in shotgun with 3 wide receivers, throw a screen to Pierre Thomas. Couple of blockers, and Thomas is taken out of bounds up at the 46. That's a first down, a pickup of 12 on the play. LaRon Landry, Fred Smoot starting with D'Angelo Hall out. 2 tight ends in, the toss, Pierre Thomas. Tackle for a loss, Andre Carter. Carter has played well all season. He's provided pass rush, done a good job against the run on the outside.
Yeah, he really does, and it looks like they were trying to get a little crackdown on him and crack him with a wide receiver and toss it outside of him. And Andre has just been really good all season, as you said it. Look at the defensive situation there for the Redskins. Very, very good in the red zone. 20-yard plays allowed. Now, that's a big one because you look at the New Orleans Saints, they're the #1 team in the league and making big plays. So that's a big one in this game.
Reggie Bush back in the lineup, splits way out left. Drees fakes a couple of times, nobody open, rolls, buys time, throws, and it's almost intercepted. It was dropped by Fred Smoot. He had it in his hands. And Bush gets up pushing with one of the Redskins.
Well, there's great coverage because they're only rushing 3 guys, and they've got Drew Brees moving. You want to get Drew moving his feet, so you got 8 in coverage. And Fred Smoot absolutely should have made that interception. You get opportunities against Brees. You gotta. This team has got to win the turnover battle today. It'll go a long way towards winning the football game. There's only 7 interceptions all season long for the Redskins on defense. That's got to change.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and 13. Brees rushed, throws the screen to Pierre Thomas. Thomas across midfield is out of bounds in Redskins territory, pushed out by London Fletcher, but short of a first down. And the Redskins getting some good early pressure on Drew Brees.
Well, that time it was a screen, and Carl Nix just let Albert Hainsworth go right by him. I mean, he barely even blocked him, and the ball came out quick. And that's what Pierre Thomas is good at. And everybody, typically, you've seen Reggie Bush with all the space plays and all the screen plays. There's not been really any drop-off at all with Pierre Thomas doing those same plays.
Thomas Morstead, good punter with high kicks and good hang time. This one is another good kick. Randall L lets it drop, and that punt is covered by the Saints down at the 5-yard line. Redskins start from their own 5-yard line. Their quarterback Jason Campbell had his best game at home last season against New Orleans. Put up great numbers as the Redskins won 29-24. Redskins come out with 3 wide receivers. And Campbell with a short drop, quickly outside, and he completes it to the tight end Fred Davis, who fights his way for a first down. Davis tough to bring down with Mike Williams starting at right guard. 5th different starting right guard this season. Here's Cartwright. Gets up to the 19-yard line. Face mask penalty called against the Saints, and you see Sean Payton asking the side judge who's it on, and the ball is marked up at the 34-yard line. Will Smith, the man called for the face mask. So the Redskins, in one play and a penalty, have come from their 5-yard line out to the 34. Antoine Randall in as the 3rd wide receiver. Campbell puts it up deep for Devin Thomas, made the adjustment but dropped the ball. Flags on the play. The rookie Malcolm Jenkins was covering Devin Thomas, and a good throw by Jason Campbell.
And Jason can throw the deep ball, and people give him a lot of criticism that he can't. I've always been a fan of him throwing the deep ball, and he puts it up just right here for the wide receiver, Devin Thomas, and a terrific adjustment by Thomas coming back to the ball to get the PI.
Defense, automatic, first down.
Penalty on Malcolm Jenkins, the rookie out of Ohio State. It's a 31-yard play.
Yeah, I like the fact that Devin Thomas, second-year receiver, slows down to come back to the ball. Malcolm Jenkins never saw it, hooked his arm, and certainly had contact before the ball ever got there.
Ball at the New Orleans 34, Saint showing blitz. Here they come. Toss to Rock Cartwright. Tries to get outside, he's wrapped up. What a play by Scott Shanley. He fought off the block with one arm and made the tackle with the other.
Well, he's got to keep his outside shoulder free. He is the force player in the defense here, and here's Shanley. He's got to keep this side free. Sellers is going to block him. Rock Cartwright's got nowhere to go, so he tries to bounce outside. You see Shanley outside arm free, strings it out, and tackles him for about a 1-yard gain. Really well played there by Shanley.
Mike Sellers in at fullback for the Redskins on 2nd and 9. Cartwright behind Sellers. Gets down to the 30-yard line.
Levi Jones at left tackle against Will Smith, who's playing as good as any DN in the league.
On 3rd down, complete to Devin Thomas. He took a shot to the head from Darren Sharper. He's got a first down. That was a hard hit and a high hit, and I thought a dangerous hit by Sharper.
Well, and a good job picking up the blitz. Jason Campbell sees it. They send an overload blitz, so you had Devin Thomas on a crossing route coming from the backside. The light's starting to go on for this guy now. You love the fact that he hangs on to the ball after getting blasted by Sharper right there.
I didn't like that hit. I thought it was helmet to helmet.
Well, Sam, it can be helmet to helmet once the receiver has established himself as a runner and he's running the football. That's perfectly within the rules.
From the 21, the toss to Cartwright. Cuts it back. Good run by Cartwright. Down to the 5-yard line. Sharper made the stop. The Redskins have come from their own 6-yard line down to the New Orleans 6.
Well, and they hit him with a nice little crease here. Cedric Ellis is coming here, but Charles Grant gets upfield, which is going to open a nice running lane for Rock Cartwright. He gets the vision. You see a nice block by Stephon Heyer right there on Roman Harper. It gives a big gash point right there for Rock Cartwright.
Redskins want to run the ball effectively and keep it away from New Orleans. Cartwright's got nothing there that time. Remy Adel was in on the stop from behind. The defensive tackle, Greg Williams, wearing the sunglasses, the defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator here in Washington, and one of the really good ones in the league.
No question. You know, as good as they've been, and you see this whole ranking there, what he did here as the coordinator in Washington. With New Orleans, they're so opportunistic. They lead the league in takeaways, but they can be run on. 4.5 yards a pop, score pending. People have been able to run at the New Orleans Saints defense.
2nd and goal, a loss back to the 8-yard line. 3 wide receivers in. Campbell looks right, looks left, and throws too high for Rock Cartwright. They had 2 big receivers in, Malcolm Kelly and Marco Mitchell. They're both 6'4", but both covered on this play.
Yeah, and Jason, you can see he's looking at his first read to the right. It's Malcolm Kelly, then goes to his second read, gets off of it, and then he's on time to the swing route to Rock Cartwright to the check down, but just did not make an accurate throw.
It's 3rd and goal. The head coach, Jim Zorn, checking his chart. Plays come down from upstairs.
Now this
relayed in.
That's right. Critical area for the Redskins. You know how much the Saints score. You've got to get touchdowns when you're down here in the red zone, not field goals.
And Jason Campbell steps back, calls timeout. That's Sherm Lewis, brought in as an offensive consultant, and the man calling the plays from upstairs.
Well, and they've gotten better in a few areas, in particular 3rd down. And since he got here, they were 30% completion percentage on 3rd down. In terms of converting, since he got here, they've been 50%. So that has gotten much better.
3 wide receivers, Moss in motion. Campbell on 3rd down, throwing short to Fred Davis. He's in. Touchdown. Fred Davis, one of 3 second-round picks last year, suddenly has come on with the opportunity to play with Chris Cooley on IR, and Davis has become a very valuable receiver for Jason Campbell.
Well, he has, and he just does a little shallow crossing route, and they love him on those crossing routes. He has gotten so much better you know, since he's gotten into the lineup since the Chris Cooley injury, his development has been terrific. He's the #2 weapon, really, behind Santana Moss since Cooley went down.
Sweeps him for the extra point. And the Redskins have a 7-0 lead.
Sam, there's Jolon Dunbar, who they're counting on heavily in this football game today. Hopefully he can get back out there. If he can't, it's going to stress their defense. They're already without Scott Fujita, who didn't even make the trip, the starting linebacker, and also Marvin Mitchell, who's got an injury. So Jolon Dunbar's ability to get back into this game, or inability to get back in this game, is going to be a story as this one goes on.
Some key injuries for the Saints. Longest drive of the season for the Washington Redskins, 94 yards. They were helped by 47 yards in penalties by the Saints. On the run is Courtney Roby. Roby picked up a burst of speed, took a hit as he got to the 30-yard line. Reese throws to David Thomas, the tight end. A pickup of 5 on the play. Mike Bell is in at running back for the Saints after Pierre Thomas played the first series.
And the running game has been outstanding all year for New Orleans, and a big part of it is that dude right there, the left guard, Carl Nix. And he is having an outstanding season. 5th-round pick last year. He told us the other day, he said, yeah, I know I had a reputation coming out. I won't sugarcoat it when I came out of college. I was lazy. I may have been uncoachable. He is playing outstanding, and this matchup against Haynesworth today is going to be huge.
Always excited about it. End around to Devery Henderson. And he tried to turn the corner, went out of bounds at the 39. Thanks, Kurt. There's the race in the NFC East. Later on, it's Dallas at the Giants, and there are the Eagles right in the middle at 7-4. 3rd and 1. Zach Strief, an offensive tackle, is eligible. Straight ahead, Belly got upended, and he comes up short. Good defense. Kendrick Golston upended Mike Bell, and he came up short of the first down.
Well, great work by Albert Haynesworth and Kendrick Golston. Watch both of them in the penetration here on short yardage. I mean, Kendrick's two yards in the backfield, right under Jaree Evans. He had Albert Haynesworth getting nice push on the other side. Terrific job there getting off the field on 3rd and short.
Good start to the game for the Redskins on both sides of the ball. Thomas Morstead is back to punt. Antoine Randall standing near his 20-yard line to receive. Morstead with time. Good high kick. Randall waits for a fair catch. And the wind held it up. There was some contact as Randall made the catch at the 30-yard line. It's a 31-yard punt. And obviously no return. The flag was thrown. Carl Cheffers is our referee today in his 10th year. A sales manager from the Los Angeles area.
I think it could be on Kevin Barnes, 25. He's the one that got the late hit, and the flag came in late, and he just hit the guy from behind. I think he hit Pearson Prelo from behind.
There's no foul for fair catch interference. The player was pushed by an opponent into the receiver. Timeout.
Rooting for the Saints has become a religious experience. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh.
Troy Evans is in, replacing the injured Jolon Dunbar at linebacker. And the Redskins, for their second possession, start from the 30 with Quentin Ganther in the backfield. Carrying the play fake, the pass to Davis. And the tight end Fred Davis across the 40 up to the 43 for a first down. Spotted at the 42. Let's see what's going on down on the field. Let's go to Nichelle Turner.
So we were talking, I was talking to Fred Davis earlier this week, and he was telling me that, you know, you think that everyone prepares like a starter every week, but he said it's harder than you thought, and mentally is where he really had to get with it, preparing like a starter. He said it's hard taking over for a guy like Chris Cooley, but he hopes he's doing an admirable job. Back to you.
Oh, he's doing that and more, Nichelle. Thanks very much. Here's Ganther breaking a tackle. And Quentin Ganther in his 4th game with the Washington Redskins with a good run.
Oh, he has got some nice little nifty moves there. There's the guy who's filling in the C gap in between, the D gap in between the tackle and the tight end. You got to make that tackle. Watch this move by Quentin Ganther right inside. Harper misses it. He gets another 8 or 9 yards.
Ganther, who was not with the team until 4 weeks ago. All the injuries they've had to Clinton Portis and Liddell Betts, he's getting a chance. Campbell in trouble, throwing to the sideline, too far for Santana Moss. Nice move by Campbell to get out of trouble as he was being rushed. Big rush by Troy Evans, the linebacker.
Yeah, Troy Evans can't leave his feet because he had his crosshairs on Jason Campbell, and he was coming around the corner for a nice sack. And Jason Campbell pumps, and he gets up in the air. There he is. Watch as Campbell looks to the right, gives a little pump fake there. Evans leaves his feet, gets up in the air, and then Jason Campbell's able to step up inside. Could have been a sack for Troy Evans if he just runs through the upfield shoulder of the quarterback.
Ganther remains in at running back, 2nd and 10. Antoine Randall in as a 3rd wide receiver. Campbell being rushed, finds Randall. Nice move to the inside. He's got a 1st down at the Saints 34-yard line. And once again, the Redskins moving the ball well.
Well, when they got it again in 2nd and long, I know Greg Williams is going to try to dial up the pressures and the blitzes. And that time he sent 6. You saw Roman Harper come here. You'll also see Malcolm Jenkins come here. Jason sees it, knows where the void is in the coverage, and delivers to a wide open Antoine Randall. Impressed so far with this Redskins football team, Sam, on both sides of the ball.
Mike Sellers in at fullback. Marco Mitchell, the wide receiver, in motion. Off the play fake, Campbell goes short to Fred Davis. Fights off a tackle and gets extra yardage. Jim Zorn, the head coach. Last pickup was 15 yards. The offense has been looking good. Short drop. Campbell throws to Marco Mitchell. Inside the 15 down the 13-yard line. Mitchell is just a step behind those other receivers we talked about. He's a rookie out of Nevada. The others are in their 2nd year.
Well, they desperately need all those young guys to step up for sure. What I love about Fred Davis is the guy runs like a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he can run with any wideout out there. And as you've seen already early in this game, evidence that he is outstanding with his ability, Sam, to run after the catch.
Sellers lines up as a tight end to the left. Short drop, Campbell fakes, being rushed by Grant. He throws it away. Nobody there. And provided he got out of the pocket,
yeah, that's the whole thing.
He did, there will be no intentional grounding. There's some discussion. Brings up a 3rd and 4 as Greg Williams sends in the defensive call. Ball just inside the 14-yard line. Chris McAllister in as a 5th defensive back for the Saints. Again, the play fake. Campbell being rushed. Throws too high for Fred Davis. Once again, Charles Grant putting on some pressure. And the Saints defense tightens up. And the Redskins will attempt a field goal.
Yeah, with the beauty of that drive is this right here in time of possession and playing keep away from Drew Brees and that potent offense. Really, they've already hit Fred Davis on a couple of those crossing routes, shallow crossers. Malcolm Jenkins was all over at that time. He was right in the back pocket of Fred Davis as he was trying to cross the formation to get the ball.
Sean Sweeson from 32 yards. Hunter Smith, the holder. Sweeson 15 of 17 this year, now 16 of 18. Redskins have scored on their first 2 possessions of the game, and they have a 10-0 lead on the New Orleans Saints.
And that's the thing that makes Brees in this offense so difficult to cover, because you don't know who to double. I mean, he spreads the ball around as good as anybody. 19 guys for the Saints this year have scored touchdowns.
Jim Zorn talking to his quarterback, Jason Campbell, Todd Collins, the backup, and Rich Bartell, the 3rd quarterback, all over. Besides the head coach, Drew Brees, who's had a fantastic season in that game Monday night. He came out with a perfect quarterback rating of over 158. Just a brilliant performance by Brees and the Saints. And of course, Drew Brees and Sean Payton have clicked ever since Brees joined the Saints in 2006. Sweeson to tee it up. Great start for the Redskins, who have a 10-0 lead on the undefeated New Orleans Saints. The other undefeated team, The Indianapolis Colts lead Tennessee 7-3 late first quarter in Indianapolis.
And give these Redskins a lot of credit. Looking at their last two games, Dallas and Philadelphia, I mean, they were so close to winning both of those games. So they've been playing pretty good football.
Sweesen's kickoff. Roby from the 8-yard line. Takes it across the field. With some speed, tries to turn the corner, and Devin Thomas takes him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Good return by Courtney Roby, 26-yard return.
It's been a good start for the Redskins today, and typically they have not started fast at first scoring. First 11 games, only 24 points, in 11 games. Today, 10 already. So a good start for Jim Zorn and his Redskin football team.
Now for the Saints from the 34, their third possession. They punted the first two times. Mike Bell, the running back. Robert Meacham motions. Quick out to Meacham. One-on-one against Westbrook. He broke the tackle, gets knocked out of bounds. Close to the 45-yard line. He's got a first down. LaRon Landry, a native of New Orleans.
He was fun to talk to the other day. We asked him, we said, you grew up a New Orleans Saints fan? He goes, man, I'm still a Saints fan.
But not this week.
But not this week.
11-yard pickup.
Yeah, Drew Brees and what he does to safeties. There's a big challenge for LaRon Landry in this football game today. And what you just saw is what he is. He'll come up and he will rock you now. But in terms of the pass, I'm sure Drew Brees will go after him today.
Two tight ends in, Shockey and Thomas. They hand off to Bell, trying to cut it back. And there's Big Albert Hainsworth, the $100 million man. Oh, excuse me, it's Philip Daniels. Philip Daniels, the defensive end, making the tackle.
14 years for Philip Daniels. You'll see him here. He's just inside of Rocky McIntosh and just watches. He comes inside, gets penetration. Nobody blocks him. Nobody blocks him. That play is supposed to stay front side. There was no boot action or anything else to hold that defensive end, hold him out wide. So he just closed down that gap and made an easy tackle on the running back.
On 2nd and 11, Brees sets up the screen to Pierre Thomas. Thomas gets outside. Good gain for a first down as he was taken out of bounds by Byron Westbrook. Saints are a good screen team.
Well, they've got, number one, Pierre is very good in space, as is Reggie Bush. But they've got good offensive linemen that can get out there. The center, Jonathan Goodwin, is very mobile. And on that last one, he just had a key block. Their center and both of their guards are big enough, yet athletic enough, to where they can get out in space and be able to pick up the smaller guys and get a block.
Ball at the Redskins, 42. Anthony Montgomery, Kendrick Golston in on the defensive line for Washington as Brees checks off. Pierre Thomas trying to get outside, short pickup. Tackle on the play by Andre Carter and London Fletcher. London Fletcher, like another coach on the field.
Look at the depth here of LaRon Landry, and you're going to see him bail even further. And I think that's something Greg Williams taught these guys when he was here. Oh, he's going to come up here and get in on the run. You will see him typically today, especially in passing situations, Sam. LaRon Landry will be 20, 25 yards off the football. Helps him get some range back there on the back end to make a play.
Reggie Bush in and lines up in the slot, now goes in motion. Pierre Thomas in the backfield. Quick out to Bush on the run. Trying to turn the corner, great tackle on the play. Outstanding Kevin Barnes, the rookie out of Maryland, who played his first NFL game last week. Steps up and makes a good tackle on Reggie Bush.
And he's going to have to play more today with D'Angelo Hall out, now with Justin Tryon out. Watch him shed the blocker here at Devery Henderson and then just chop down the legs of Reggie Bush. That is an outstanding play by the third-round rookie out of Maryland.
3rd and 7 for New Orleans at the Washington 40. Brees with time. Throwing short and the catch made for a first down by Devery Henderson. He was hit by 2 players. He's shaken up on the play, but he held on for a first down. Look at some numbers in the first quarter. How about this? That was only the 3rd time this season the Saints have been shut out in the first quarter. Only the 6th quarter the entire season they've been shut out.
Look at that. -1 yard rushing the football.
Henderson shaken up on the play. He took a hit from 2 sides.
Yeah, he gets hit. Here you got Smoot coming from the side. LaRon Landry coming over the top.
It's another helmet to helmet.
Yeah, but Sam, once the receiver establishes himself as a runner, it's like being a running back and crossing the line of scrimmage. Everything is fair game.
Now, I worry about those shots to the head. You know, there's been a lot of talk about that.
I hear you.
Henderson gets up slowly, but walking off under his own power. Saints have a first down coming up. Back at FedEx Field, it's 39 degrees, and that's cold for Drew Brees and an indoor team, the New Orleans Saints.
Well, he played at Purdue, so he can play in cold weather. But in terms of wins and losses with Drew Brees outside in cold temperatures, it hasn't been a good record.
Under 40 degrees.
Yep. 2-6.
2-6.
Yep.
3 tight ends in for the Saints on first down. Quick drop. Brees throws. Wide open Shockey. Wrestled down, flag on the play. Another high hit by LaRon Landry.
Yeah, but I think they're going to get Shockey for offensive pass interference. Would not be surprised. They came with a full-out blitz.
Pass interference, number 88, offense.
How do you see that?
Repeat first down.
Well, when a guy gets that open, there had to be some type of overt push on the defender, because Shockey, there wasn't anybody within 5-6 yards of him. Drew Brees getting off his spot a little bit now. They have got him out of his rhythm. We talked about that. Well, the other defender was over here somewhere, as it looked like Shockey pushed him off before Landry came up and made the hit.
He's been on a roll of late. He's hit his last 6, but not for big yardage. 7 for 8, 66 yards. Ball back to the 39. It's a 1st and 20. Pierre Thomas in at running back. Brees works out of the shotgun. Setting up the screen. Thomas with 2 blockers. Pulled down from behind. Chased down by Cornelius Griffin. Good tackle at the 34. A pickup of 5 on the play.
Well, you love to see this out of big defensive lineman. Here's Griff here. He's going to penetrate and then realize it's a screen and then gets on his horse and runs to the football. See, right there, he realizes screen. Now watch him giddy up and got enough juice, certainly enough ability to get Pierre Thomas down. That's one thing now about this Redskins front. They are very, very solid, Sam, in terms of their defensive line.
Courtney Roby in at wide receiver, goes wide right. 3 wide receivers. Jeremy Shockey, the tight end, splits off the line. Brees steps up and throws complete to Shockey. And he's got a first down at the 19-yard line. London Fletcher with a stop. Jeremy Shockey now with a pass reception in 107 consecutive games.
Yeah, and Shockey will just do a good job of feeling his way through the zone, and London Fletcher, actually looks like Fletch had him there in some type of matchup man-to-man. So they were playing zone behind it. Shockey uses that big body. He's having a nice year. You know, you look at New Orleans, they have not had a real legitimate Pro Bowl type tight end in a long, long time, and Shockey is playing at that level this year.
Now the Saints in the red zone. The team that scored the most points in the NFL. They lead the NFL with 34 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, and they've been in the red zone more than any team in pro football. They've been down there 53 times. It's going to be a great matchup this part of the field today, because this is where the Redskins have been at their best. They are #1 in red zone defense defensively when their backs are against the wall.
9th play of the drive for the Saints. First down at the Redskins 19. Shockey and Thomas, 2 tight ends in. Shockey motions. Everybody out. Brees under pressure, throwing short to Robert Meacham. And he's brought down at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play. H.B. Blades, the backup middle linebacker, made the tackle.
Here's where Drew Brees is as good as anybody, because there's good rush coming around the corner, but he just steps up in the pocket very subtly, hits the back foot, a couple of hop steps, climbs the pocket, finds an open lane and an open vision point, and delivers it perfectly to Meacham.
Reggie Bush is in. And Courtney Roby in as a 3rd wide receiver. Bush lines up in the backfield. On 2nd down, everybody out. Brees batted down. Big play by Philip Daniels. He's made a couple of plays here in the first half.
Well, that's one thing about Drew Brees. He is only 6 feet tall. He throws from a wide base, so if you can, there's Philip right there, 93. If you're not getting rushed, just mirror him and get your hands up. Perfect there by Philip Daniels. And you'll see, you'll see Sean Payton do throughout the day today is they'll subtly move Drew Brees around in the pocket, change his launch point to try to keep from getting those balls deflected in the middle of the pocket.
Devery Henderson is back on the field. They go empty backfield. Reggie Bush goes out as well. Brees, after the fake, moves and throws, overthrows everybody. The only man there was Marcus Colston. Andre Carter put good pressure on Drew Brees, and the Saints will have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, Greg Blosh has done a good job in terms of the coverage, and then the pressure has been able to get there. It's Andre Carter coming around the corner. He's going to run around Stinchcomb and then peel back inside and then come back outside. And Brees got nowhere to go with the football. Drew was onto his third read right there and then basically had to throw it away.
That's Garrett Hartley. First game this season. Last season, he was 13 for 13 after the Saints signed him. From 34 yards, it's good. Key men to look for on the Saints kickoff coverage team: Pearson Prelo, one-time Washington Redskin; Courtney Roby, the speedy kickoff return man, also a good coverage man; and the tight end Darnell Dinkins.
What you love about Roby is he's so good in the return game, but in the coverage he also excels. And Sean Payton told us every week Courtney Roby doesn't get it every week, but every week he is up for a game ball in terms of his special teams play.
Morstead kicks it off. Devin Thomas comes up, but it's the up man taking it. Marcus Mason, the backup running back, who gets up close to the 25, and he is ridden down.
And the guy was on the street a couple of weeks ago, and now he's out here starting. And he's always been a great player. His problem has been injuries over the last 2 seasons.
Quentin Ganther carrying. There's another guy who was out on the street, but Sherman Smith knew him from Tennessee. And Ganther has been in a couple of camps and really hasn't got much of an opportunity, but they brought him in with the injuries they had to Clinton Portis and Liddell Betts, and he's done a nice job.
He has done a nice job. Was over 6 yards a carry last week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And you know what? The Redskins, point blank, they've got to be able to run the football. You look at their numbers throughout the season, really the last couple of years, and if they can't run it, they're usually not going to get a win.
Ganther shifts back. 3 wide receivers. Ganther carrying. There's a hole there. And a good tackle on the play by Troy Evans. Evans replacing the injured Jolan Dunbar. Scott Fujita, as Tim mentioned earlier, did not make the trip. He's out injured, so some key injuries for the Saints.
Well, and key injuries, too, for the Redskins. I think you look at their offensive line. You mentioned they got the fifth new guy at right guard in Mike Williams today. You got Chris Samuels, their blessed player, on IR. You got Randy Thomas on IR. Portis is on IR. Cooley is on IR. These guys right now are playing as good as they played all season.
Here's 3rd and 2 on the tight formation. Mason didn't get it. Good job inside by the Saints. Not much room to run as Mason was brought down short of the 35-yard line. And the tackle made by Remy Adel. There's Joe Bugle's done a great job with the offensive line. He has worked to keep that group together and playing pretty good football the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, but they have really struggled. And we mentioned the injuries. There's been a lot of dysfunction. We know the whole story with Coach Zorn and how that whole thing went down, and Sherman Lewis coming in here. So it's been a trying time, I think, for Bugles.
Reggie Bush back deep. Hunter Smith, good kick. Bush takes it at the 15. Looking for some blocks. Can't find any. Byron Westbrook, Mike Sellers, and then the rest of the gang take Reggie Bush down. They start from the 13 with 2 tight ends and Pierre Thomas, the running back. Here's Thomas squeezing through the hole, and he's brought down up at the 17-yard line. Reed Doughty, the safety, made the tackle.
Yeah, the thing we talked about with New Orleans is they've been balanced all season. They run it as well as they throw it. That hasn't been the story today. They've 6 rushes to 13 passes. Obviously have leaned on the passing game, but they've only got 4 yards rushing the football today. Now 4 of those pass plays, Sam, in this game today have been of the screen variety, getting it out in space to the running back.
3 wide receivers. Mike Bell, the running back, carries and gets through the hole and powers his way up for a first down.
Everybody wants to get pressure on Brees. You know how important it is. You're dialing up the pressures. You're trying to get there. Thus, you're very, very vulnerable to the screen game.
And my apologies. He came up a half yard short. It's 3rd and less than a yard. And it's Bell carrying, and he's got enough for the first down. And as he's shoved back by Albert Hainsworth, he got up to the 24-yard line.
And this is their bread and butter play. When they need to make a yard, they bring this guy and they bring him right up in here and pull Carl Nix around and just let him lead right up inside. And it doesn't matter. You put a red jersey in front of him, white, he's going to block anybody and push the pile, as he did there for the first down.
Reggie Bush is in at running back. H.B. Blades comes in replacing Brian Orakpo at linebacker. They split out the tight end David Thomas. On first down. Breeze with time. Goes short and is batted down by Albert Hainsworth. Hainsworth came off the block and went back to the middle of the field. Got his arms up and blocked the pass.
Yeah, and I think, again, you got Albert Hainsworth, who's not getting upfield and rushing the passer. He's trying to move to the left. He gets stymied at the line of scrimmage, just peels back right in front of Drew Brees. Reads him as Drew takes that left hand off the ball. Albert's going to get in that throwing lane. That's bat down number 2 on the day for Hainsworth.
Brees 10 for 14, 89 yards. 2nd and 10 for the Saints. Pierre Thomas in at running back.
Excuse me, Sam. It was Philip Daniels who had the first bat down.
Right. Everybody out. Brees being pressured. Finds Devery Henderson. He's got a first down as he dives forward to the 38-yard line. Byron Westbrook was covering on the play.
Drew's going to look back to the right. He's going to pump. You got all those defenders that he got moving that way, and then look at all the space it creates for Devery Henderson. I mean, Drew does as good a job as anybody in the National Football League of steering defenders with his eyes and with his arm in terms of the pump fakes.
First down, Saints. Anthony Montgomery in at defensive tackle for the Redskins. Saints have 2 tight ends in, Shockey and Thomas. Thomas shifts, and Breeze calls timeout. Play clock was winding down. Some confusion in the formation, and the timeout used by Drew Brees.
Timeout was called by New Orleans prior to the delay of game penalty. That's their first charge timeout.
Brees on first down, look at the numbers. Completing 71% of his passes, leads the NFL with 14 touchdown passes on first down. From the 39, 2 tight ends in. Mike Bell, the running back. Off the play fake. Brees steps up and goes deep. Way down for Henderson, broken up. Outstanding play by Laurent Landry. Well covered. There were 3 defenders back there with Devery Henderson.
Yeah, and this ball is just a little late in terms of it coming out of Drew's hand, so it ends up being a little bit short because Devery Henderson had a step on the defenders. You see all the red jerseys behind him. Watch the ground that London Fletcher covers right down the middle of the field. I mean, he opens to the speed of Devery Henderson. That is a great, great play by London Fletcher. But if that ball's out a little further in terms of leading the receiver, probably 6 points. Drew threw it a little bit short, maybe a little bit late.
David Thomas, the tight end. Pierre Thomas, no relation, in the backfield. On second down, Brees steps up and completes it. Close to the first down line. They're going to give him first down forward progress. The completion to Robert Meacham, just short of the midfield stripe. It's a first down for the Saints.
Boy, has Meacham really blossomed this year. Yeah. I mean, the guy coming into the game, 21 catches, 7 of them touchdowns. And he's going to get, you'll see as this season goes on here, the next 4 or 5 weeks, he'll be on the field more and more.
Pierre Thomas, good run as he broke the tackle, took a hard hit from Laurent Landry, but they're giving him forward progress to the 40-yard line, another first down. Laurent Landry is a strong safety who's playing free safety for the Redskins.
Look at all the red jerseys that don't even have their hand down on the ground yet.
Yeah.
They are not set yet. And Drew Brees, a lot like Peyton Manning does in the AFC, Drew Brees will come up and quick count you if you're not ready. And it certainly puts your defense at a disadvantage.
3 wide receivers, and Reggie Bush splits out wide left. Empty backfield. On first down at the Redskins 40. Brees has time. Waiting, throwing deep. He's got Colston. Touchdown! Another first down touchdown pass thrown by Drew Brees, 15th this season. What a pass, and Colston's first catch of the game.
And I told you that they would be going after LaRon Landry in the passing game. He's very, very aggressive in the run game. And he simply just jumped that little slant and go, that little double move. He thought he was going to come up and make one of those body rocking hits. And then Colston ran right by him for the touchdown.
First touchdown of the game for the Saints as they look to tie it, and they do. Garrett Hartley with the extra point.
Sam, critical mistake by the guy on the left, LaRon Landry, the safety. There's Marcus Colston, the receiver, and watch this move. As he's already had a couple of completions inside, so he steps inside like he's going to run that curl or that inside route. LaRon Landry just comes up and takes the cheese, and Drew delivers a perfect football to Marcus Colston. He is just so good over the middle, Colston, and a lot of his work comes really inside the numbers. So that time, LaRon Landry thought he was throwing it, thought he was going to come up and get a big hit. 6 points over his head.
10th touchdown pass of 20 yards or more thrown by Drew Brees this season. Thomas Morstead kicks it off. Low line drive. Devin Thomas takes it on a bounce at the 1. Couple of blockers to lead him upfield, but he stopped. Good coverage. Stopped at the 22-yard line. And that's Drew Brees, who has really been something special as a Saint. Jason Campbell hits Fred Davis on first down up to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. So a good start by the Redskins, and now the Saints have started to get their offense in gear.
Well, Drew Brees has started to get hot. I mean, he started to get a real feel for what the Redskins are doing, and what they've done really in this game is they played a lot of zone now, and what helped them early is they were playing the zone, but they were getting enough pressure with the 4-man rush to get Drew Brees moving around in the pocket, get him out of rhythm.
Quick outside is Santana Moss, and he is wrapped up by Malcolm Jenkins. Takes him down at the 36-yard line. First catch of the game for Santana Moss. He's got a first down for the Redskins. Moving the chains, very important for the Redskins. Maintaining ball control, whether it's by the short passes or the running game. But the Redskins want to keep Drew Brees off the field as much as possible. Antoine Randall in as a third wide receiver. Marcus Mason, the running back. Campbell throwing to Santana Moss, out of bounds at the 44. And you know, Kurt, I just thought that moving the chains would make a nice name for a radio show. Right?
Not bad, not bad.
Campbell being rushed. Sidearms it wide of Fred Davis. Two linebackers, Scott Shanley and Troy Evans, were coming at Jason Campbell.
Well, it's a tight end screen, and Jason's got to be able to make that throw. And I know there was pressure on him quick, and he tried to sidearm it out there, but Fred Davis was, sitting out there all by himself, had some offensive linemen in front of him. That would have been an easy first down. They only needed a couple of yards to go to get the conversion.
Two tight ends in for Washington. It's 3rd and 2. Marcus Mason, the running back. Short drop, pump fake, going deep for Santana Moss. He's there, and he's got it. And he's pulled down by Jenkins inside the 20. They spotted at the 17. Santana Moss burning the Saints as he did last year.
Well, listen, Santana is a polished receiver, and he's just going to get on Malcolm Jenkins and out and up. And Malcolm bites on that, and there's just no way. Once Santana Moss gets by you, you're not going to be able to run with him. He comes in motion here, so now Malcolm's got to go with him. Good pump fake by Jason Campbell, selling the out route. Really throws a real nice ball there to Santana Moss.
38-yard gain, 3 wide receivers in. Again, the pump fake. The pass over the middle, complete.
Hey, here you go, Kelly.
Malcolm Kelly with a catch down at the 11-yard line. So here are the Redskins right back at New Orleans, threatening to regain the lead.
And Jason Campbell, historically has been good against the New Orleans Saints. He's 2-0 against the Saints in his career. His only 300-yard game here at home at FedEx Field came against the Saints, and he's having a nice day so far.
7th play of the drive. 6 passes for Jason Campbell. Short drop, another pass to Santana Moss, cut it inside, and is down at the 5-yard line. A first down for the Redskins. Darren Sharper with a hit.
Well, you look at the inside leverage. He's playing anything that goes in here, but when you got a soggy field, it's an advantage for the offense, and that's why. Santana Moss knows where he's going. McKenzie gave him a real big cushion. Nice job by Jason Campbell just getting the ball out to him quick, and Santana Moss in open space. Instantly, Sam turns into a punt returner, and you saw there the soggy field conditions were a factor on McKenzie.
Saints call a timeout, looking to slow down the Redskins. Brian Billick will have Mike Smith and Mike Singletary and Jim Schwartz and Jack Del Rio on Coach Speak on Tuesday.
Sam, they have not run the ball since they got shut down last drive on the big 3rd down.
And they throw it again, and this time the pass is batted down. That was the 8th play of the drive, all passes, and it'll be 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line for the Redskins. Will Smith with the bat down.
Well, and they were just trying that same play to the other side. It was the same play they just ran earlier to Santana Moss, where he made Mike McKenzie slip. That time they just flipped the formation and tried to throw it to the right.
Campbell is 6 for 8 on this drive, 73 yards, and 4 passes completed to Santana Moss. 2nd and goal. Mason and Sellers in the backfield. Devin Thomas motions. The play fake. Campbell throws to Devin Thomas to the corner. He dives. And he is in for the touchdown. Great drive by the Washington Redskins, 78 yards. All passes as Jason Campbell leads them down the field. Devin Thomas with a great effort for the touchdown.
Love the play design. Love the play design. The light is coming on for this 2nd-year pro, Devin Thomas.
Sean Sweesom the extra point. Redskins with a 17-10 lead. 9 plays, 78 yards.
And here is Devin Thomas here. He came in motion. McKenzie, you can see him. He's in stride trying to run with him, but watch Devin Thomas just slip right out behind the offensive lineman, and there's just too much space, and McKenzie can't catch up once he's behind. See, Devin Thomas is going to hold in. Now he's going to take off behind the line of scrimmage. A little crossfire. McKenzie in man coverage just can't get to him on time.
2nd touchdown of the season for Devin Thomas. I love the effort here. Thomas dives in. Good mixture in passes. They went deep. They threw short. They threw some screens, the little crossing patterns. And of course the big play, the 38-yarder to Santana Moss, helped setting up the touchdown.
Yeah, and Jason Campbell's getting comfortable.
Yeah,
he really is.
Campbell 14 for 20, 149 yards and 2 touchdowns here in the first half. Reggie Bush getting set to get back on the field, but the Saints have not had the lead in this game. Trailed 10-0, came back to tie it, now trail 17-10.
Let's also give a little credit too to Levi Jones, the left tackle. He did not have a great game last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Trent Cole was rough on him. And Will Smith's going to be a tough matchup for him as this game goes on, but so far so good for Levi Jones and that Redskins offensive line.
Courtney Roby back deep for the Saints. Sean Sweesom kicks it off. Roby comes up and takes it at the 8-yard line. Byron Westbrook got a piece of him, enough to take him down. It's a good play by the kickoff coverage team of the Redskins. The tackle made it to 21-yard line.
Sam, one of the rule changes this year, kickoff returns, you cannot have a 3-man wedge. 3 or greater, forget it. So the most you can have is a 2-man wedge. There's Danny Smith, special teams coach of the Redskins. But look at what's happened. Since they've gone to a 2-man wedge, returns have gone up from 9 kickoff returns for touchdowns last year to 14
that surprised
this season.
You?
It does surprise me because they thought it was going to have the opposite effect.
Now the Saints, first 2 possessions, they punted. Then a field goal and a touchdown. Here's Breeze to Reggie Bush. Couple of blockers. Goes to the outside, runs out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Saints with 1 timeout remaining in this first half. Bush picked up 9 on the play, and Reggie was supposed to be limited today, and he has been to a degree in how many reps, how many snaps he'd get in the game.
Sam, you see Joe Bugle on the right, offensive line coach for the Redskins. On the left there, Bill Johnson, the D-line coach for the Saints. And right now, it's Bugle's group that is winning it. And you got 20 pass attempts for Jason Campbell. You've got 0 sacks and 1 hit only on the quarterback.
On 2nd and 1, Breeze was going down. Looks like he stumbled and tripped. And that could have been a product of the soft turf out there. But the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Saints at the 30-yard line.
Watch his left foot here. Yeah, as he was stepping up, you saw he almost turned his ankle. He rolled it over.
Reggie Bush didn't get the first down. Ryan Arakpo stepped up to make the tackle. Reggie lunged with the ball out, but I think he came up short. And the Redskins have used a timeout in anticipation of getting the ball back.
You see there the nice illustration of the athleticism of Brian Arakpo, the 1st-round pick. Here he is here, number 98. Now against Reggie Bush in space, that's a problem for everybody, not for him, as he jams down Jamon Bushrod into the hole and then bounces out. That's a big-time play in space against Reggie Bush for Arakpo.
Arakpo, they've tried to convert him to a linebacker, but where they feel he's more natural is with his hand on the ground. You can see the way he came off the ball.
Well, he's got 7 sacks. He was at Texas his whole career. He was rushing the passer going forward. So they are trying to make him a backer, but I know out of 10 plays, they want 7 of those plays. They'd love for him to have his hand down in the dirt.
Great defensive series by the Redskins. Here's Morstead with his 3rd punt of the game. It's a high, short kick, and it hit one of the Redskins. And the Saints have recovered. Did it hit Randall L? Osama Young recovered it. That punt was short, and the Redskin there never saw the ball coming down.
Yeah, I think it hit Kevin Barnes right here at the 3rd-round pick. Everyone's telling him to get away. He's trying, but that punt was so bad and so short, and to the sideline, 29 yards. And you got the rookie, Kevin Barnes out of Maryland, running down, and he can hear the call. You see him there, number 25. You can see here as he's going to get the call. Everybody's telling him to get away. He's just going to squat, and just as unlucky as he could be, the ball comes down and hits him in the shoulder.
So the Saints have the ball at the Redskins' 41-yard line. What a break. Osama Young with a recovery. Reggie Bush splits out to the right. 3 wide receivers.
Drew's throwing to the right here.
And the Redskins jumped offside. Free play for Breeze. Throwing deep for Henderson. Batted down by Byron Westbrook. LaRon Landry was there as well. Looked like Andre Carter jumped offside, coming across too soon.
Number 99, defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
And Drew had matchups to the right side of the field. That's why I thought he was going there, but he clearly took the deep shot. You always look deep to shallow, but when you got a free play and a guy goes offside, you're going to go for the home run. That's why he tried to hit Devery Henderson even in double coverage.
Kevin Barnes is in as a 5th defensive back. 1st and 5 at the Washington 36. Empty backfield. Everybody out. Breeze being rushed. Completes to Reggie Bush. Inside the 30. Down to the 28-yard line. Saints are in field goal range. London Fletcher made the tackle, but the Saints want more. They want 7 to try and tie this game.
Well, they're going to get 7 if the Redskins keep blitzing. And that time they blitz. They got to rush 4, keep at least 7 in coverage, hold them to a field goal.
Bush split to the right. Pressure again. The pass for Shockey off his hands. Reed Doughty covering on the play. Clock stops with exactly 1 minute to go in the first half.
Shockey on a crossing route. They love him on these. The over route as he comes inside. Ball just too far out in front of him. by Drew Brees. But again, you saw the man coverage there. Greg Blosh and the Redskins choosing to dial up the blitz package and send 6 guys, 6 rushers at Drew Brees.
Saints have 1 timeout remaining. Redskins 6 defensive backs in. Kareem Moore and Byron Westbrook in. Brees out of the shotgun. And he wanted to throw the screen. Reggie Bush actually blocked and got knocked down while he was trying to block. And there was nobody out there for the screen pass. Brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Saints. Drew Brees inside 2 minutes, completing 60% of his passes with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. There's the 3rd down play for the Saints coming up. Discussion by the officials and a flag. They're going to get intentional grounding on Drew Brees because nobody was out there and he was in the pocket.
Well, I think Reggie Bush was out there, but the ball didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, ineligible.
Okay.
Ineligible downfield, number 73 of the offense.
Okay.
5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Jari Evans, the right guard, released, looking for the block on the screen.
And it's such a timing route and a timing play that those guys haven't locked in their heads, and usually how long it takes. You get out to the edge, then you go downfield, but since Bush got knocked down, there's Jari there. He's already just trying to get downfield and block. He has no idea that you can see he's 5-6 yards down the field, that Reggie Bush had actually fallen down behind him. I will not put that one on the offensive line.
Ball is back to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 15 for the Saints. Pierre Thomas in at running back. 3 wide receivers. Jeremy Shockey, the tight end. Everybody out. Brees, pressure. They knock him down. That's a sack. LaRon Landry, the safety, bursting in. Knocked down Drew Brees and knocked him out of field goal range.
Well, he just ejects him right out of the back of the pocket. Look, he's going to come up late and get in there right inside of Reed Dowdy. And he just ejects Drew outside the back of the pocket, and Brees falls down. Look at the pressure. Greg Blosh is not going to sit back. He's dialing up the pressure, and it's been effective.
Only the 15th sack given up by the New Orleans Saints this season. That's 3rd fewest in the NFL. Indianapolis #1, Tennessee #2, Saints #3. And the Saints have used their final timeout, a 3rd and 26 coming up. They have to get to the 18 for a 1st down. Greg Blosh.
Well, and you know, New Orleans, they do not have a lot of practice in this situation. I think Jerry Gray was telling us over the last 5 games, the Saints have only been in 3rd and 11 plus 1 time. This is a situation that 3rd and 26, that they haven't done a lot of this.
Pierre Thomas in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. Jeremy Shockey, the tight end. They pick up the blitz. Brees faking. Andre Carter missed him. Brees throws. It's up for grabs. Was it picked off? Kareem Moore's got the ball. It's an interception. And then it's taken away by Robert Meacham. Meacham goes in for a touchdown. Do you believe that play? Wow. Robert Meacham, the wide receiver, took the ball away from Kareem Moore. Now I think what might be checked upstairs.
If in fact Kareem Moore was down when he made this interception. Well, let's see what happens as he comes over the top. Drew Brees getting the pressure off of him, unloads it. He certainly completes the process of the catch. Was he touched down? If he was, it's going to be the Redskins football right at the point of the interception, and everything else will be moot.
This is a booth review in the final 2 minutes of the half. Now they have signaled down to referee Carl Cheffers. He is going to go under the hood and take a look at that play again.
41 coming over the top. Now he's got the ball there. Clearly has it secured. Does Jeremy Shockey have any contact with him, Sam, as he's going to the ground? He was still in the. Oh, look at that play by Robert Meacham.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Just pulled it right out of his hands. The New Orleans Saints are the leaders in takeaways now.
Let's see if
did that ball hit the ground?
That's what you got to see. If that ball hit the ground and was moved, it's not even going to be an interception.
That's right. It would be an incomplete pass.
Which would be a huge break for the Washington Redskins.
Now, this is the last part of the play, the Meacham pulling it out of his hands and running in for a touchdown. But one of the things they'll look for is, did the original pass hit the ground? Was it just an incomplete pass?
Well, and we know the ground cannot cause a fumble, but certainly the ground can cause an incompletion.
Right there. No, that really, angle looks like he made the grab. Now the question is there contact?
Secured there. Does the ball hit the ground? As you see the. Okay, he's on Shockey's back. His knees aren't down. Elbows down. Looks like he's still touching Shockey. Well,
there's a lot going on, and if there's contact there, then he would be down by contact.
Yeah, let's blow this up. The ball's moving there, but it looked like his right arm was still in between the ball and the grass.
I agree with you.
But his left elbow was down and his knees were touching Shockey. Either way, I think the Redskins are going to avoid a huge situation here with the Saints getting the ball and taking it in for a touchdown. I think it's going to be one of two things. I think it's an incomplete pass or it is an interception, and then the ball is going to be downed right there where the elbow was down and his knees were touching Jeremy Shockey.
I think the latter. I think it's it'll be an interception and down by contact with Shockey.
Yep.
And it'll be Redskins ball. Sean Payton certainly hoping that the review will say not down by contact, and that the play by Robert Meacham will stand, which was a brilliant play, pulling it out of the hands of Kareem Moore and running it in for a touchdown.
One of the few times you may be happy as a coach and quarterback that your QB threw an interception.
So we have.
You don't like it, Sam, but it certainly beats the alternative.
That's right. It has been quite a first half. Jim Zorn, whose future is totally up in the air with the Washington Redskins. But I have to tell you this, and we watch the Redskins in practice. There's a lot of energy to their work ethic. The players haven't quit on them. And the last 4 weeks, including this game, they have played pretty well. They could have probably should have beaten Dallas and could have beaten Philadelphia last week.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jim Zorn. I mean, he got his stinger taken away from him about 6 weeks ago, and I give him so much credit. He has held his head up high. A lot of integrity with that guy right there, Coach Zorn.
Referee Carl Cheffers talking to the people upstairs.
Well, you can tell by how much time he's spending under the hood that this is a difficult for him to decipher.
Nervous moments for both coaches. For the Redskins, the players will tell you they're playing for pride, they're playing for their careers. For the New Orleans Saints, even though a perfect season might be on the horizon, they're talking about playoffs and home field advantage in Super Bowl. Here's the decision.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
How about that?
Well, clearly not enough for him to overturn it. Called an interception on the field, and then the whole play went down. Obviously, everything else was legal as Meacham pulled it out and ran it in for a touchdown, but I just don't think he could get enough visual evidence to be able to turn that over.
So here's Kareem Moore after the interception, but Robert Meacham pulls it out of his hands and takes it in for a touchdown. 44-yard
charge timeout. Washington. A 30-second timeout.
Washington has called a timeout here. It is ruled a 44-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Robert Meacham. And Robert Meacham has now had a touchdown, scored a touchdown in 5 consecutive games. That's quite an effort. And Meacham with a big play. What a turn of events.
More in the first half than the Skins have scored all season.
221 first half points. And for Sean Payton, I think he'll feel good the way the first half ended for his Saints, but overall at 17-17, he knows his team is in for a big battle and a big fight in the second half.
And the Redskins will get the football to start the second half.
Garrett Hartley, after the low snap, was set down by Mark Brunell, able to kick it through. And the Saints have tied the game for the second time. Chris Horton really sad that he couldn't play. He's on IR.
No doubt. And if I remember, I think the Saints had a 9-point lead in that game that evaporated from the...
Yes.
The Redskins were able to punch their way back in.
Thomas Morstead will kick it off for New Orleans. Game tied at 17. The Saints coming into today's game with an 11-0 record. The only other undefeated team in the league, the Indianapolis Colts, are leading at halftime at home over Tennessee, 24-10. Morstead with the kick. Devin Thomas from the 2. Trying to get outside.
Put that ball away.
The Saints have it covered. Roman Harper chased him out of bounds. The Redskins got off to a 10-0 lead in this game as they shut the Saints out in the first quarter. Only the third time this season the Saints have gone the first quarter without a score. Saints came back to tie it at 10. Redskins with a good drive took the lead again, and then the wild play at the closing moments of the first half. Thomas Morstead teeing it up. Devin Thomas going back deep along with Marcus Mason. Once again, as they have the previous 3 weeks, Redskins hanging tough. They beat Denver, they lost to Dallas, lost to Philadelphia, now tied at halftime as we start the third quarter. Devin Thomas from the 12. And he is brought down as he crosses the 25. Courtney Roby with the tackle. We check in with Nichelle Turner. Nichelle, what's happening?
Hey guys, Coach Zorn says he cannot explain those screwy plays in the first half. He says his player getting hit by a shank punt and Kareem Moore getting stripped by the ball is just kind of happenstance of the game. But what he says this game is showing is that he's got a team of fighters. Coach Payton, on the other hand, says his offense was a little disjointed in the first half, but he says it's more of what the Redskins defense was doing than what his team was not doing. But he said this team's built for this. He's ready to get it on in the second half because they're a good second half team. Back to you.
Thanks, Nichelle. Here's Rock Cartwright bursting through the hole and getting across the 30 up to the 31. Picked up 5 on the first down carry. Rock Cartwright wasn't all that busy in that first half. They used a lot of Ganther and Mason. Changed, and then they started passing the ball.
Well, that's what happened. They got shut down on that big third down and third and short, and then they started throwing the football. And you know, I think just listening to Michelle down there and talking, or Nichelle, excuse me, and talking about the second half team that New Orleans is, the Redskins are darn good in the second half as well versus what they are in the first half.
3 wide receivers in. The tight end Fred Davis motions. On 2nd and 5, Campbell puts it up and threw it behind Malcolm Kelly. Mike McKenzie with good coverage on the play. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
You can see what they've done on third down. Today at 60% when Jim Zorn was calling the plays up until several weeks ago. 30% on converting on the big down, and then since Sherman Lewis has been here, it's 50%, which is a huge upgrade. Today, as I said, 60%. So, and that really helps them move the chains, play keep away, and obviously Sam ball control.
Anthony Hargrove in at defensive tackle for the Saints on 3rd and 5. Campbell out of the shotgun. He gets protection. He dumps it off and completes it to Antoine Randall. He's got a first down up at the 42-yard line. Jason Campbell bought some time scrambling around in the pocket and found Antoine Randall, a pickup of 12 on the play.
Yeah, Jason's having a nice day, for sure. You can't say anything else. He's been able to move around in the pocket. He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes. He's got no interceptions. He's kept his eyes down the field, too. And that's the thing. This group right here has done a good job. There has not been a lot of pressure on Jason Campbell today.
Puts it up deep for Devin Thomas, who makes a beautiful catch at the 29-yard line of the Saints. Great pass, beautiful catch by Thomas.
And look at all the room Thomas leaves himself to adjust to the football. That's just really good work, and where his release is, getting down the sideline, keeping some room in between himself and the sideline so that Jason Campbell could throw him open to the sideline. Good coverage by Malcolm Jenkins. Better throw from Jason Campbell. That's his best throw of the day.
29-yard pickup. They mark it at the 28-yard line. Marco Mitchell is in. Splits wide right. Cartwright in the backfield. Short drop. Quick out to Devin Thomas. Avoids McKenzie. And two-man shove him out of bounds at the 24.
They were determined to get him in the end zone today.
Well, they did. Eagles with a big lead on Atlanta. Cartwright, good hole as he busts through and gets down close to the 15-yard line. Anthony Hargrove made the tackle, but another good drive by the Washington Redskins.
Well, Stephon Heyer, let's watch his block. Fred Davis is able to kick out Troy Evans. Let's see what Stephon Heyer does here to Charles Grant. Oh, yeah, they catch Charles on an inside stunt. He bumps him in there and then comes to the backer, which gives a nice running lane. Well done there by Stephon Heyer.
Redskins with 249 yards total offense, 53 yards rushing now. Antoine Randall in as a third wide receiver. Low pass juggled and dropped by Santana Moss. Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Redskins. This drive started at the 26-yard line.
We've seen 4 or 5 times they've thrown this little quick smoke screen out to the sidelines. Are they setting up the New Orleans Saints for something a little bit later on? Because the Saints have given them a nice cushion. They've rallied up. They've tried to make the tackle. They've slipped a couple of times. You wonder if they're just laying some of the bait down for maybe a little smoke and go later in the game.
On 2nd and 10, Campbell. Some pressure, goes outside to Cartwright, and he is tripped up by Malcolm Jenkins, falls forward to the 10-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Redskins.
Good job by Santana Moss. He's not big now, but he's certainly willing to block. Here he is here, and he's going to come hit the linebacker, Scott Shanley. Shanley thinks, okay, I'm going to get him. Oh, the little fella. Santana Moss said they're having a lot more fun now.
Yeah,
he really did. That's one thing that he talked about and said it was the only place to go is up. He said the experiences we've been through have been brutal. It can only get better.
Here's 3rd and 4. Campbell being pressured, puts it up into the end zone, but behind Santana Moss. Moss cut in, the pass went out, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And Jason Campbell was throwing the fade, is what he was doing to the back pylon, and it looks like Santana Moss ran an inside route. There's Moss here. Oh, Darren Sharper coming on a blitz, and Jason Campbell probably had to unload that before he wanted to. That may have been a play that was set up on a slant and then take it back to the corner. Jason had to unload it before he got hit by Sharper.
28-yard field goal try for Sean Sweesom is good. Line drive kick, bounces up. Courtney Roby picks it up on the run. Breaks into the clear. Trying to get outside on Devin Thomas. And the ball pops loose but goes out of bounds near midfield. Good return by Roby. Good job by the Redskins defense. But now the Saints start from their 48-yard line. 2 tight ends in. Pierre Thomas making Mike Bell on the carry. Gets a couple of yards to midfield. What do you think they're thinking about this game?
I think they're hungry. You know, that guy right there, I know what he's thinking. He's thinking he's going to get himself about 10 more tackles today, Reed Doughty. You know, since he's gotten into the lineup, and I know they've had some injuries, but since he's gotten out there, he has elevated himself to the #2 guy on defense in terms of tackles. Very, very active down in the box, making plays in the run game.
Bell behind Eckel. Good hold, good carry. Bell fights his way forward for an extra yard. Down to the Redskins 43. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. The Saints, who average 151 yards per game rushing, have really been shut down.
Well, that's 5th in the NFL in rushing the football. Well, they're on to hurry up. Sean saying, let's go. Defense not ready again. They get down.
Here's Mike Bell. There's a big pile there, and it's very, very close. And it looks like he's going to be a little short. That's the second time the Saints have come up on a 3rd and 1, a little bit short. In the first half, Reggie Bush had a short yardage situation that he failed to convert.
Yeah, it's just hard to move Albert Hainsworth when he's up inside there. You're going to run it right up the gut. You're going to have to deal with big number 92 and about all 350 pounds of him.
They'll bring in the chains for an official measurement. It's a half a yard short. And it looks like the Saints will go for it. Zach Strief, the offensive tackle, comes in as an eligible tight end. Kendrick Golston comes in on the defensive line for the Redskins.
Let's see if they go behind Carl Nix, and that's right where Hainsworth is. Typically, when they need a yard, they go right behind the big left guard.
Mike Bell is the running back. He carries. There's a big pile. He's short. Great tackle. The Redskins did it again. Albert Hainsworth stopped him. Redskins have the ball to 43. Sean Payton, the Saints coach, was upset before the 3rd down play. One of the defensive players on the Redskins kicked the ball off the line. He wanted his team to hurry up before the Redskins could get set on that 3rd and 1. Three wide receivers in. Campbell puts it up deep. He's got a man. Devin Thomas fell down at the 20 after making the catch. McKenzie touches him down at the 17-yard line. Make it to 16.
Well, good job, as they're going to send him down here, cover 2. You're going to see McKenzie squat, but they're also sending somebody down the way of Darren Sharper, which held him, Sam, on the numbers. And he's got deep half. He never got over to get in front of Devin Thomas. He was wide open.
40-yard gain.
Yeah, you see right there, it was Fred Davis down the seam that held Darren Sharper on the numbers.
Toss to Cartwright. Gets a couple of yards down to the 13-yard line. Remy Adele made the tackle. Jason Campbell, 19 for 28, 242 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, he's having a very good game, and I think the play calling and the design and the execution has been outstanding. Now, you get cover 2 like that, and you squeeze the safety. You send a vertical, the tight end, right down the hash, which is going to hold him on the hash. And then, of course, you got the outside go route. The corner's going to squat in the flat. Sharper never got to the outside. Well-designed play.
Out of the shotgun. Randall L in motion. Everybody out. Campbell throwing, almost intercepted by Malcolm Jenkins. Campbell was knocked down after he threw, but that pass was off the mark, and Jenkins would have had a clear field to go all the way.
Yeah, that would have been a house call. That would have been a house call from the rookie there, Malcolm Jenkins. Jason Campbell, he's looking to the right. He's going to go to his first read. He's going to get off of it. Now he's going to his second, going to get off of it, and then he's getting hit. Just as he's throwing the ball, Will Smith hits him, which causes that ball to be very inaccurate. He's lucky that one wasn't a pick 6.
3rd and 7 for the Redskins. They have to get to the 6-yard line for a first down.
That's up on Fred Davis again.
Campbell going short to Devin Thomas. He's got the first down. And he's in. Touchdown. He stayed in bounds. Tiptoed the sideline and takes it in. His second of the game. Another great effort by Devin Thomas. It's a career game in the brief pro career of Devin Thomas, the second-year wide receiver. The extra point by Sweesom is good. Sweesom kicks it off. Redskins with a 10-point lead. Courtney Roby from the 1. Gets across the 25, and he's brought down. Which bowl games they're going to in the BCS Bowl Bash. On first down, Mike Bell with the carry gets up to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 7 on first down. LaRon Landry, who has been very much involved in today's action.
Yeah, that was one of the better runs they've had all day.
Yeah.
2.5 yards a carry in this game today. Not good for the New Orleans Saints. They better get it figured out.
Down by 10 off the play fake. Breeze throws, completes to Shockey. First down at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 12 on the play. Shockey's second catch of the game. Cornelius Griffin has gone to the sideline. He's hurting. Being checked out, flexing his left leg. Ball spotted just across the 45. 2 tight ends in for the Saints. Shockey and David Thomas. Quick to Shockey, slanting in. He crosses midfield, gets down to the Redskins' 47-yard line. LaRon Landry on the stop.
Now that's a good design play, and they play action to the right, which brings the linebacker to his left. He's thinking run, and then that just opens up the throwing window for Drew Brees, who Shockey was split out wide. LaRon Landry covering him. Just runs an inside slant.
Shockey hurting a little bit. He's gone to the sideline. Albert Hainsworth has come off. Anthony Montgomery replaces him. Mike Bell, the running back. Follows David Thomas. And a great tackle again. This time it's Reed Dowdy. Boy, the 2 safeties, Dowdy and Landry, have really been involved with some good tackles in this game.
Well, I told you, this guy can really get up in the box and make a play. He is the force guy. They get McIntosh blocked. They've got the edge. Bushrod is able to hook McIntosh, and then boom. Reed Dowdy just knifing right through the knees of the running back.
3rd and 2, Zach Streif, the offensive tackle, is an eligible tight end to the right side. Mike Bell, the running back. Play fake, Breeze. Throwing, he's got a man wide open. It's David Thomas, the tight end. A first down at the 25-yard line. They spotted at the 24.
Now this what makes Drew Brees so good is you got, here's David Thomas. He's going to get out here, and McIntosh is covering him 52. He never sees the ball. Drew Brees is late on this one. He's waiting. Then he turns and throws it just right over the shoulder of Rocky McIntosh. Nice adjustment from Dave Thomas. Drew will typically do that. If he locates his receiver and sees that the defender is not playing the ball at all, he's going to laser it right in there.
Gain of 23 on the play. Thomas lines up as a fullback. Again, the play fake. Breeze with time. And the pass is caught by Devery Henderson with LaRon Landry all over him. But a good catch by Henderson.
Well, and Meacham pulls, look at, he's going to pull those corners back. This is a good close by LaRon Landry, but just a fraction of a second too late. First down, Saints. And they love to do those kind of routes. They clear out with guys and then run a crosser underneath. That time it was Meacham clearing everybody out, taking defenders into the end zone with him. Devery Henderson on the crossing route underneath it.
Gain of 14 on the play. Pierre Thomas in the backfield now at running back. David Thomas lines up as a fullback. It's first down for the Saints. Pierre Thomas fighting his way down to the 8-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the play. Good blocking inside. Carl Nix, Jonathan Goodwin, and Jari Evans leading Pierre Thomas. So here are the Saints trying to answer right back. A lot of time left in this game. Redskins with a 10-point lead.
Here's the catch 2 plays ago with Devery Henderson, and it looks like this ball hits the ground. Devery Henderson, there's the ball. Hits the ground and moves. Yeah, that, I think if they'd have taken a good look at it, there's a good chance that thing is called incomplete.
That was close. That right hand was underneath the ball.
It did the ground cause the ball to move, though.
Mike Bell, the running back, the play fake. Breeze throws, batted away. LaRon Landry stepped in to break up that pass intended for Marcus Colston.
Well, and Colston is so big that he's in front of Smoot now. You're going to watch. He's got Smoot out leveraged, but it's a great job by LaRon Landry just playing the football. And that's what, look, that's what Jerry Gray talked about, the secondary coach. He said, we got to make plays on the ball when it's in the air. That right there was a perfect example of LaRon Landry just reading the quarterback and getting up in front of Colston and really saving a touchdown.
Albert Hainsworth back in for Washington. 3rd and 7. Breeze drops it off to Henderson. Didn't get much. Flag on the play. Lorenzo Alexander made the tackle. Well diagnosed by the Redskins.
Illegal block in the back, number 78, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Stinchcomb called for the illegal block.
Yeah, and he's going to end up hitting right here. It's going to be Byron Westbrook right there, 34. There's the illegal block. Boy, this Redskins defense are flying around. Lorenzo Alexander, and I mean, how many screens have we seen the New Orleans Saints try to throw today? That time they were all over it. That's the 7th screen the Saints have attempted in this football game.
Good job by the Redskins. Now a 27-yard field goal attempt. Brunell the holder. Hartley's field goal is good. And the lead is cut to 7. Right now, we'll check out.
It's like Griffin.
Cornelius Griffin on the sideline. Morstead to kick it off. Redskins with a 7-point lead. High kick, but short. Here comes Devin Thomas at the 15. Busts through, gets up to the 35-yard line. Campbell is 20 for 30, 255 yards, 3 touchdowns. Breeze is 20 for 29, 224 yards. This is Rock Cartwright on first down, getting up to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. Cedric Ellis made the tackle for the Saints. Cedric Ellis, who missed a couple of games a few weeks back, very important in the defensive line for the New Orleans Saints. That big body is very important against the run.
Yeah, it is, and he's playing, as Greg Williams told us last night, he's playing more nose guard than he is defensive tackle. Defensive tackle lines up in an alignment outside the guard. They call it a 3 technique. He's playing more nose here recently since he got back.
Malcolm Kelly in motion. Campbell throws, completes it to Antoine Randall. He's got a first down just short of the 45-yard line. Jason Campbell, who really doesn't know what his future holds because he is a restricted free agent at the end of this season.
Well, he'll only be a restricted free agent if we get into an uncapped year.
That's right.
If there's not an uncapped year, he's going to be a free agent. He can sign with anybody. So he, I'm sure, is very interested to see what happens in terms of the salary cap here in 2010.
But he's showing a lot of good things,
and
he's not giving up during this stretch of a bad season for the Washington Redskins. Cartwright is stopped in the backfield. Good penetration by Bobby McCray, the defensive end.
Greg Williams, and he knows, and he came in and he knows Jason Campbell. He understands this offense, and whatever he's done just hasn't worked today. And I think a big part of it, and we talked about it at the start of the game, he's down his top 3 corners. McKenzie's still a good player, but he's obviously doesn't have a lot of football under his belt this year. Malcolm Jenkins is a rookie. You're out Jabari Greer, you're out Tracy Porter, and you're out Randall Gay, and it's showing against this defense.
3 wide receivers in on 2nd and 10. Campbell throwing short to Antoine Randall L. And it's incomplete. The ball hit the ground. Bring up a 3rd and long.
And you know Greg Williams, the #2 blitz defense in the league. Here they send Pearson Prelude. Anytime they've sent a blitz, and again, 6-man pressure right there, because you see Vilma coming up in the middle. The Washington Redskins have been able to pick it up. Rock Cartwright, real nice job right there in blitz pickup, pass protection.
Call it 3rd and 11. Anthony Hargrove and Demario Presley in at defensive tacklers for the Saints.
Got Usama Young down here at corner now.
3 wide receivers. Everybody out. Campbell steps up, throwing deep to Antoine Randall L. First down at the 12-yard line. And Randall L is hurt. He made a good grab. And the Redskins in scoring position again as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Washington leading. And what a game for Jason Campbell. He's over 300 yards, his 2nd 300-yard passing game of the season.
Well, we talked in the open about Greg Williams laying down traps for him. He hasn't stepped in them. That was a trap right there. That last play, they inverted the coverage with the safety and the nickel back, and Jason crushed it.
On 1st down, swing it out to Marcus Mason, and he's down to the 6-yard line. Brought down by Scott Shanley. In this game, Jason Campbell has had 4 passes completed of 20 yards or more. And the one to Randall L was for 44 yards. And he's had a couple of long ones to Devin Thomas. One of 40 and one of 29.
And the one Randall L really just kind of tells you what's been going on today. Greg Williams has been dialing stuff up, but they have not been effective in confusing or getting to Jason Campbell.
Marcus Mason tries to cut it back. It's inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. And they'll spot it at the 3, a little short of the 1st down.
And here's the play I was talking about. And here's Malcolm Jenkins. He's typically the nickelback, but he's got the deep middle. You got the curl with Roman Harper right there, but watch how he opens his hips looking this way. And Antoine Randall L just gets right down the seam, and Malcolm Jenkins can never recover. That's an example right there of Greg Williams trying to lay down a trick in the coverage, and Jason Campbell was able to bite it.
Now the Redskins have Todd Yoder, a 2nd tight end, in with Fred Davis, and the fullback is Mike Sellers. And Mason, the tailback, on 3rd down. Mason behind Sellers. Tripped up. Good tackle by Darren Sharper on the play. And it's going to be 4th down.
Well, this is a tough decision for Jim Zorn. You kick a field goal, you're up by 10 points in this game, but you are playing the New Orleans Saints. I think you got, as good as your defense is playing in this game, you got to trust them. Kick the field goal, get points while you can.
That's exactly what he told us on Friday. Whenever you have the chance, get points. And here he's a yard short, and you'd love to take a shot, but right now the opportunity to make it a 2-score game is more important.
And we also saw earlier in the year when they tried to go for it and did not take the points, and it didn't work for them.
21-yard field goal for Sean Sweetson right through. Saints defense has been burned. Sherm Lewis of the Washington Redskins has called a terrific game. His team has put up 30 points, most points this season scored by the Redskins.
Well, there's no doubt from what I see here today, and we did 2 games earlier in the year, they're a better offense with Sherman Lewis calling the plays. You can't size it up any other way. They've got plays that work off of other plays. They got sister plays. They've been very effective today.
Sweet, some short kick. And it bounces at the 20, and they fight for it, but it looks like it was covered by Lionel Hamilton of the New Orleans Saints. The kick kind of bounced in no man's land, and they're still fighting for it. The wrestling job continues. Hamilton won't let go.
Lenny Holmes, I think, is at the bottom of it.
Officials trying to get everybody settled down. That's Lendy Holmes, who was wrestling for the ball at the bottom of the pile for the Redskins. That's Cornelius Griffin. He is out with a sprained knee. His return is unlikely.
From that look on his face, I think unlikely is the right term there.
Antoine Randall should be okay. Kendrick Golston is replaced. Cornelius Griffin on the defensive line for the Redskins. Now the Saints, with their 11-0 record on the line, start from the 21. Breeze puts it up and completes it to Meacham. Spinning outside, he's taken down at the 30. LaRon Landry with a tackle.
I'll say this, the Redskins have had their best performance all year on both sides of the ball against a quality opponent. When you're talking about the New Orleans Saints and being 11-0 and what they did to the New England Patriots on Monday night, I mean, they've gone on the road, they've had big wins this season. This is a huge performance by the Skins.
Pierre Thomas on the carry, looking for the first down. And it looks like he's very close. They gave him forward progress, and it is a first down.
And again, it's behind Big 77, the left guard, Carl Nix. Watch him. That's their bread and butter play. He's going to pull out. He's got great feet. He can slide right up inside. Now, he doesn't hit anybody there. They went right by the defenders, but and that's a tendency, too, that they may have to break away from. Because every time they want to get a yard or two, they do it, and the Redskins have actually defended it pretty well.
There's Breeze on first down, throws the screen to Pierre Thomas, picks up a couple of blocks, and gets a first down up to the 42-yard line. The Saints have rushed for only 43 yards in the game, a team that averages 150 yards rushing. They've gone to a lot of screen passes in the game.
I think you just said it. When you can't run the ball, those are kind of like extensions of the run game. And you're right. I mean, they have been very ineffective today in just trying to traditionally run the ball in between the tackles. And Greg Blosh there, the defensive coordinator, has got to be very proud of his defense. These guys are playing good today.
Lorenzo Alexander in for the Redskins on the defensive line. On first down, Breeze throws short to Pierre Thomas. He's tripped up as he gets up to the 48-yard line. Carlos Rogers made the tackle. And Breeze right now is satisfied taking the short gains, the small gains, and trying to march down the field. The Saints do need 2 scores.
He's just picking apart the zone right now. The Redskins are rushing 4. They're keeping 7 back. And if you can't get pressure when you only rush 4, and they have been able to do a good job with it today, those windows in the zones, there's no question. If your quarterback's got more than 3 seconds to key and diagnose that zone coverage, the windows are going to open up.
On 2nd and 5, Breeze with time connects with Shockey. First down across the Redskins 40-yard line.
And this is what I'm talking about. They're just running basically a 4-deep zone. Got 4 defenders going deep, and Shockey's just going to get up and find himself a nice little void inside of Reed Dowdy.
First down at the 40-yard line. Rob Jackson, number 91, has come in on the defensive line. Defensive end for the Redskins. Pierre Thomas in the backfield. Everybody out. Breeze throwing, and it's dropped by Henderson. He was open at the 25-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
Well, here's Fletch. Watch him. Play action's going to suck him up. They actually come with a. Oh, he's just green dogging. He snatched blitz in the running back, and I think that Smoot, just in terms of being in front of Devery Henderson there, blocked his vision point. Looked like Henderson lost the ball in the air for a second and then couldn't make the catch.
2nd and 10. 2 tight ends in. David Thomas lines up in the backfield. Mike Bell trying to cut it back. No gain on the play. Lorenzo Alexander with a good tackle.
Good job by Rob Jackson, too. Everybody on the backside. And when the ball's coming this way, these guys are the ones that are important. They can't get chopped down. They got to be able to squeeze. They got to stay square. Lorenzo Alexander does his job, and Rob Jackson does the same thing. That was super.
Now it's 3rd and 10 for the Saints. They are 3 for 10 on third down conversions in the game. Blitz coming. Breeze steps up and throws deep and completes it to Robert Meacham at the 12-yard line. He's out of bounds. Great move in the pocket by Drew Brees to avoid the blitz.
Well, this is what we talked about earlier. Brees just stepping up enough in the pocket because Arakpo had him. Arakpo had him on a sack coming around the corner. He just went right by Jamon Bushrod. You see Brees step up there. And then Smoot loses the football because he was going one way and Robert Meacham went the other, and he's wide open.
That's the 5th pickup of 20 yards or more on a pass play. A gain of 28 on the play.
Now he's got a wet sock.
Oh, he ran right out of his shoes. Mike Bell, the running back. David Thomas, the tight end, lines up at fullback. It's Bell. Nothing there. Redskins just shutting down the Saints running game totally.
Well, the D-line's absolutely controlling it, and they really are. We talked about that coming into the game today, and Andre Carter just holds the edge right there, forces it to cut back inside, and he runs right into the arms of Albert Hainsworth. Again, Greg Blosch's defense has been terrific.
And we welcome those of you who've been watching the Chicago Bears and the St. Louis Rams. The Bears winning 17-9 to go 5-7. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Nichelle Turner here at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, where the unbeaten New Orleans Saints, 11-0, are trailing by 10 to the Washington Redskins.
Greg Blosch, the old defensive line coach, the D coordinator now, but was D-line coach for Greg Williams when Greg Williams was here as the coordinator. His group up front has been very, very solid and shorthanded. You see right there, Griffin, Golston walking off the field. Griffin is already out with the knee injury. I would think now Anthony Montgomery, Sam, comes onto the field and plays next to Albert Hainsworth.
2 defensive tackles sideline. Griffin with a sprained knee, and you saw Golston holding that left arm to his body. The Saints have not run the ball well at all. Drew Brees has had a solid game, but has thrown 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Jason Campbell has been exceptional for the Redskins with 3 touchdown passes and passed for 310 yards.
And they just moved Philip Daniels down inside right there for Golston.
Breeze throws the screen pass. Pierre Thomas broke the tackle. He's brought down as he gets to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and long for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, Ron Landry has been everywhere in terms of in the combat zone. He did get beat on a long touchdown where he sniffed out a teaser route and bit the cheese up in front of him, but in terms of the run, he has been really, really good. That was an outstanding play. The 9th screen of the day for the New Orleans Saints. He sniffed it out, ran around Carl Nix, and got a nice tackle to bring up a big 3rd down.
Saints have to get to the 2-yard line for a 1st down. 3 wide receivers right. Now Meacham motions. And Breeze calls timeout. Kedrick Golston looks like he's ready to come back, but Cornelius Griffin, no. Greg Blosch, the defensive coordinator, sending in the call. Here's 3rd and 8. They have to get to the 2 for a 1st down. Everybody out. Breeze throws, batted away. Great defensive play by Byron Westbrook. That'll bring up a 4th down, and the Saints send out the field goal kicking unit.
Well, Drew Brees right here is going to try to get Colston in between Fletcher and Westbrook. The ball's a little late coming out, and Westbrook does a terrific job laying out in front of it and deflecting the football up and out of the reach of Marcus Colston.
27-yard field goal try for Garrett Hartley, and it's right through. So the Saints have one of the 2 scores. The 11-0 New Orleans Saints down by 7. The other undefeated team in the NFL, the Indiana Colts, are leading 27-17 with 1:23 remaining in their game against Tennessee.
Any way you look at it, the Saints are going to win the division because Atlanta's down 34-0.
Right.
Now, they certainly don't want to win the division losing here with the Washington Redskins, and for that not to happen, their defense has got to come up with a big, big stop here.
Devin Thomas on the return from the 3. Runs into a couple of players, bounces off, hits the other way. Thomas is slowed down and brought down by Roman Harper, but a good return to the 41-yard line. Devin Thomas, who's had a career day receiving over 100 yards, a couple of good returns in this game.
Yeah, he's going to head up and go left, and then things start to break down. You see he runs right into the back of his blocker right there, and then he's going to reverse the field, and then it's about the speed. You saw Kyle Eckel get pinned down inside. Sharper is the safety, so he's the guy that's got to prohibit Devin Thomas from going to the house, and he does. But he ran right up the back of Lorenzo Alexander and then punched it to the perimeter.
Redskins have scored on all 3 second-half possessions. Play fake by Jason Campbell. Throws on the run. Caught by Mike Sellers, the fullback. In Saints territory at the 42.
Jason Campbell is playing out of his mind today. He really is. I mean, he looks deep, then comes back shallow. He sees that Fred Davis is covered up by Scott Shanley. Mike Sellers is wide open. Nobody picks him up. Nobody turns and hunts him up. Darren Sharper late getting in there on Sellers. That was a terrific play from the quarterback, Jason Campbell.
Campbell, 24 for 35, 326 yards and 3 touchdowns. On first down, Quentin Ganther breaks a tackle and gets down to the 36-yard line. Ganther, the backup running back. Washington Redskins now looking to control the ball. And we welcome you to FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Michelle Turner. The unbeaten New Orleans Saints are trailing Jim Zorn's Washington Redskins 30-23. Redskins on the move again with a 2nd and 3. Quick outside to Malcolm Kelly, slips a tackle. Norman Harper takes him down at the 30-yard line. If you're just joining us, the Washington Redskins 3-8 started fast. They have never trailed. They've led by 10 points 3 times in this game. The Saints have tied them twice, but the Redskins continue to play well.
Well, because their offensive line's playing good. You look at the New Orleans Saints, and they have had at least 2 sacks in every game since week 3. They do not have one today, and no pressure on Jason Campbell. He's tearing it up.
We welcome those of you who've been watching the Detroit Lions and the Cincinnati Bengals. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, and Michelle Turner. The Redskins on the move with a 7-point lead on the New Orleans Saints. And a flag on the play after the catch by Devin Thomas as he was taken down by Chris McAllister.
Personal foul, face mask, number 29 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, no reason to gripe for McAllister because he just turns the head of Devin Thomas. And they've been running these little smoke plays all day long, just getting it out to the quick hits to the wide receiver, and you got to wonder if they're setting them up for a big one down the sideline.
And a big welcome to those of you who've been watching the Philadelphia Eagles and Atlanta Falcons right here in Landover, Maryland. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Michelle Turner. New Orleans Saints 11-0 are trailing the Washington Redskins 30-23. The Redskins are on the move at the Saints 16. On first down, Quentin Ganther, the backup running back, takes it down to the 13-yard line. Saints called a timeout. Jason Campbell to the sideline to talk to Jim Zorn. On the other side of the field, the New Orleans Saints were shut out in the first quarter. Only the 3rd time that's happened this season. They fell behind 10-0. They've tied the game twice, but have never been able to get over the top and get the lead on the Redskins. On 2nd and 9, it's Ganther again, cutting it back inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. A makeshift offensive line for the Washington Redskins with Levi Jones at tackle. Mike Williams getting a start at right guard. Has done a excellent job blocking for Jason Campbell and opening up holes.
Well, there it is
like
right
that.
there. You always shoot for 4 yards a carry. That's the threshold you look for, and 0 sacks allowed against a group, as I said earlier, had at least 2 sacks since week 3.
Lorenzo Alexander is eligible. He's played defensive tackle. He's eligible as a tight left end. It's Ganther trying to squeeze through the hole, and he does. He's got a first down. It's 1st and goal for the Redskins.
Sam, as great as this story has been for the Redskins and the anguish of a 3-8 season and what they're able to do today against maybe arguably the best team in the league, has got to be even just as hard or harder for the New Orleans Saints and their fans. It's got to be heart-wrenching for them right now and how this thing's been going down.
Brock Cartwright behind Mike Sellers gets about a yard down to the 3-yard line. The Redskins doing what they wanted to do, ball control. They got this a good kickoff return by Devin Thomas at the 41, and they have driven down inside the 5. The Saints are now out of timeouts. That's Greg Williams, the former defensive coordinator of the Redskins, now with the New Orleans Saints, calling in the defensive signals. The Redskins with their highest point output in 2 years. Cartwright and Sellers in the backfield. It's Cartwright. No gain. He's thrown for a loss. He's stopped at the 5-yard line.
That's all right. You're just going to keep letting this baby and just keep bleeding that clock.
Saints can't stop the clock now. The only stoppage will be the 2-minute warning.
You know, just talking about Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, and he has done a great job with the New Orleans Saints. Today is and we did him a couple weeks ago against Tampa. We saw how they held up against Tom Brady. Today, to me, it's obvious they are missing their top 3 corners.
Yes.
Jabari Greer, Terry Porter, and Randall Gay have been missed today, or Tracy Porter, excuse me, and Scott Fujita as well. All of those guys have been missed today for the New Orleans Saints.
Here's 3rd and goal for the Redskins. Cartwright. And not much there. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down. The perfect record on the line for the New Orleans Saints, 11-0. There is one undefeated team remaining. Indianapolis won today at home over Tennessee, 27-17. The Colts are now 12-0. The Saints down by 7. Sean Sweesom out for the Redskins to try and make it a 10-point 2-score game.
Yeah, and the problem is, you said it, 2-score game, and without any timeouts left, if they can kick this field goal, the Saints are going to have to score awfully quick and then get an onside and be able to recover it, or this game's over.
23-yard field goal try for Sean Sweesom. He's 3 for 3 today. Little high snap, and he missed. The snap was high. Hunter Smith, the holder, got it down. Sweesom missed wide to the right. It's still a 7-point game, and the Saints have the ball.
And Jim Zorn cannot believe it. Do you see the look on Coach Zorn's face as Sweesom missed that thing, and it wasn't even close. That was pushed wide to the right.
So now the Saints trying to pull off a miracle finish. No timeouts. They've got to go 80 yards to try and tie the game. Drew Brees, 26 for 37 in the game. Steps up, short to Pierre Thomas. And a 2-yard, 3-yard gain. Reed Dowdy on the tackle. Hurry up offense. And there's an injured player, an injured Redskin, writhing in pain.
I think that's Albert
Hainsworth, who missed the previous 2 games with an ankle injury, is writhing in pain. The ankle had held up throughout this game, and he has played well. He's done a good job stuffing the run. But right now, Hainsworth in big-time pain. A minute 41 remaining.
There he is, 92.
Why? It just seemed like the
left
ankle
never
gave
good.
out on him.
That's never good when somebody's not getting hit and they're kind of in space by themselves and go down.
The Saints, no timeouts remaining, down by 7. Their 11-0 record on the line. On 2nd and 6, Breeze under pressure, throws, and the catch is made by Devery Henderson up at the 34-yard line.
Maybe the best throw of the day for Drew Brees, and the only reason I say that is they had pressure on him, and his body was in such an awkward position, did not have his feet set, and really that was his last resort, to be in a bad position and get it out to Colson, and he was able to make it happen.
From the 35, everybody out. Breeze throws low, incomplete. LaRon Landry helped knock it away from Marcus Colston. The Saints have clinched the NFC South by virtue of the Atlanta Falcons' loss to the Philadelphia Eagles today. The Saints are division champions, but they are trying to keep that unblemished record going.
Well, and you know why. Not only being unblemished and undefeated, but home field #1 seed through the playoffs is huge.
Breeze buys time, throws, and it's complete to Robert Meacham. He's out of bounds at the Saints' 47-yard line.
Well, and that's what they need to do. If Smoot and the defenders are going to give a huge cushion and just get into their free access backpedal and get out of there, they're just going to keep running those out routes in front of the defenders and moving themselves down the field.
Albert Hainsworth is back on the field for the Redskins. Breeze steps up, throwing deep. He's got a man, Meacham, and he goes in. Touchdown! '53-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees to Robert Meacham.
Yeah, and they got LaRon Landry again. Watch number 30 bite the double route. Meacham just does a little stutter in front of him. Once again, Landry takes the cheese. Touchdown. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Incredible. Incredible.
80 yards for the Saints with no timeouts. Breeze makes it happen, and Garrett Hartley ties the game. It's the 3rd time the Saints have come back to tie the game.
Now, how if you're LaRon Landry, and you're going to see him here. Here's Meacham. He's going to stutter and then go. Landry, you got to stay deep. He steps up and bites it. Drew sees it, delivers a perfect football, tie game.
That's
oh my
a strong
goodness.
Safety mentality, playing free safety.
That's a good point, Sam. That's a very, very good point. But he's been playing free safety long enough. He's got to understand you've got to stay deep. You are a safety for a reason. Just by the identification of your position, safety. Keep everything in front of you. LaRon has had a whale of a game in the box, making tackles, body rocking guys all over the place. 2 touchdowns, though, over the top. And both times they ran a little teaser route in front of him, and he bit the teaser.
Drew Brees now has 29 touchdown passes this season to lead the NFL. For Robert Meacham, he's caught a touchdown pass in 5 consecutive games.
I know this. They are going absolutely crazy down in New Orleans right now.
The Saints fighting back from behind. Trailed 3 times by 10 points. And they have fought back to tie. Redskins still have 2 timeouts remaining. 1:19 remaining in regulation time. Morstead's kickoff. Devin Thomas from the 6. Looking for an opening. Runs into a pile of players at the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins, after Sean Sweeson missed a gimme field goal attempt.
That was a chip shot. That was a point after touch is what that was. You're right. That was a gimme shot. Not a gimme for him, though. He missed it. Now you know why Coach Zorn had that look on his face.
Oh, my goodness.
Knowing how potent this offense is in the New Orleans Saints. Quick strike, tie game.
Brock Cartwright in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Jason Campbell's had a tremendous game. Passed for 333 yards and 3 touchdowns. Being rushed. Screen pass to Cartwright. 2 blockers. Cartwright up to the 39-yard line. Brought down by Cedric Ellis. Pick up a 14. No huddle Under a minute to go. Jason Campbell works out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Throwing short and completes to Fred Davis, the tight end, at the 45, and the Redskins use a timeout. They have one timeout remaining. Campbell gets up limping.
Well, and he had bad ankles coming into this game. He said his ankles have been giving him major issues.
Trying to walk it off.
Yeah, you see Will Smith comes right down on his ankle right there. And here's the difference in the game right now. I mean, you miss that field goal, and that I mean, that is massive.
There was a penalty on the Redskins that sets them back to the 29-yard line. They have to get to the 49 for a first down. Campbell throws to Cartwright out of the backfield. Down at the 40-yard line. And a flag goes down.
Prelo.
Looks like a horse collar tackle on Pearson Prelo, the former Redskin.
Personal foul, face mask, number 31, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Face mask, not horse collar.
Yep, Pearson Prelo right there, 31 on 31. Well, he grabbed the collar first and then ripped at the mask to get him down. Sam, they're about 10 yards from field goal range right now. Sweesom has gone 52. This has been his long this season.
Redskins have one timeout remaining. Campbell working out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Intercepted! Intercepted by Jonathan Vilma, the middle linebacker. And the Saints have the ball. Vilma stepped out of bounds. First interception of the game for the New Orleans Saints, who lead the NFL. That's their 23rd pick of the season.
And it's just an out route by Fred Davis. Watch Jason Campbell. Number one, he's late on the throw. That ball comes out way late. He never saw Jonathan Vilma undercutting it. And then his feet. He was just in terrible position in terms of where his footwork was, standing in the pocket. Threw that from an awkward platform, and Vilma undercut it for a big interception.
So now, with 28 seconds to go, the Saints have a chance to get into field goal position. They do not have any timeouts remaining. Reggie Bush in the backfield. Everybody out. Breeze throws behind Devery Henderson. Flag on the play.
They're going to get Bushrod for holding.
Number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Arakpo has been a big problem for him today now, running that corner. There's Arakpo there. He's just going to turn the corner on Jermon Bushrod. Gets around him, and there's Bushrod just hanging on, and the referee Jeffers sees it, restricted him from turning the corner and actually closing the gap on the quarterback and made the call.
Well, the Saints from their own 36. It's Garrett Hartley staying loose. But Breeze has got to come up with something here. Everybody out. He throws, and it was tipped, broken up by Reed Doughty. Intended for Robert Meacham. 18 seconds remaining in regulation time.
Big play. Here's Reed Doughty, 37. See, Drew is not comfortable in the pocket right there, and that ball just behind Robert Meacham. There was a lot of space out in front of Meacham in open territory. Not a good throw in terms of accuracy from Breeze, and Doughty was able to make a play on it.
Let's see what Sean Payton and Drew Brees come up with. Reggie Bush in the backfield. Three wide receivers. Everybody out. Brees with time. Throws to the sideline. Caught by Meacham. Across midfield, out of bounds at the Redskins 49 with 12 seconds remaining. A gain of 15 on the play.
Now, one thing that does help him is Garrett Hartley, and you see him there, number 5, has got a much stronger leg than Carney at this point in Carney's career, being 45 years old. So that's an advantage, having, in my opinion, having Carney inactive today and having Garrett Hartley up. think the last play, Sam, is under review, the catch over on the sideline.
All right. Carl Cheffers is our referee. And we'll check out the last play. The review coming down from the booth. What a game this has been. The Redskins jumped to a 10-0 lead early. The Saints kept coming back. Tied the game at halftime. Second foot came down out of bounds.
Well, was the toe dragging as he made the catch? That's what we got to look at here, because the left foot is down. Let's see what the right toe is doing. Yeah, he drags it. He drags it before he took the next step.
Yeah, that is. Fans reacting as the replay is being shown on the scoreboard. But that should be a good catch.
Yeah, and you can see right there is where the toe was able to drag.
12 seconds remaining in regulation time. The Saints have no timeouts remaining. They've got to hit something on the sideline and get the field goal kicking unit on if they hope to win in regulation time. Jim Zorn has seen a chance for a huge.
The receiver had good possession of the ball. First foot down, drag the second foot. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Third down.
That's the call.
And they're going to need to get it if they're going to have an opportunity for Hartley, and I think his career long 47 yards at Tampa last year. So they're going to get it up, have to get it somewhere, Sam, up near the 30-yard line to give him a real opportunity to get the victory.
It's a 3rd and 5 for the Saints. Breeze 31 for 44, 389 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's remarkable the numbers.
It's amazing for
are
him.
So close. Campbell is 28 for 40 for 358 yards with 1 interception and 3 touchdown passes.
What's amazing about Drew is watching him here today. He hasn't looked really comfortable all day long, and he's thrown for almost 400 yards. That's a big statement.
Let's see what they come up with now. Everybody out. Breeze to the sideline. Caught by Bush out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 7 seconds remaining.
Going to take another quick pot there. Yeah, they're bringing him on right now.
Well, this try will be 58 yards. The holder is Mark Brunell.
There's John Carney there.
The long snapper, Jason Kyle.
Watch penetration right here.
And the Redskins call a timeout. We'll let Hartley think about it a little bit. 7 seconds remaining.
This is in warm-ups earlier today, Sam. This is from 50. He's gonna. Yeah, this one hooks to the left. Plenty of leg there, though. Plenty of distance.
And
again, another one. This 50-yarder there.
And let's remember, there's no snap, no hold, and no one rushing at you.
And the game's not on the line with the 11-0 undefeated season. Same difference, right?
Yeah, why not? He's done it 1,000 times. You visualize it. And now Drew Brees has come back on the field. So Sean Payton changes his mind with 7 seconds to go in regulation time and lets the offense
take
one more chance.
Yep.
The game tied.
They're in a running formation here. Let's see if they got a quick out to the sideline.
Brees turns the pass, tipped, incomplete. 3 seconds remaining. And that's the 3rd batted pass of the game that I count for the Redskins.
Yeah, they were just moving the pocket, sliding the pocket with some gap protection. I believe it was Andre Carter that got his hand up and got the bat down to the football.
Jim Zorn. Now the Redskins send Fred Smoot back in the end zone.
Remember, if it doesn't go through, Smoot can return it.
The line drive kick. Smoot's got it and will return it. boot is brought down, and this game is going to overtime. It was tied at halftime at 17. The Redskins opened up a 10-point lead in the second half, and the Saints have come back to tie it to send this game to overtime as they try to preserve an unbeaten record.
What an unbelievable comeback here at the end.
It's had a little bit of everything.
Swisha missing that chip shot opened the door wide open for Breeze and the boys to get right back in it. LaRon Landry bites up on a shorter route on a double move, and Meacham runs right by him. Now this bad boy's in overtime, and you know the thing about professional football in terms of the overtime is that unlike the college game, it's somewhat unfair. It really comes down to who wins the coin toss in a lot of ways.
Well, you know, I wrestled with that a lot.
I know you do. We've talked about it.
But the argument, let's take a listen here.
An overtime period of up to 15 minutes. The first team that scores wins. If neither team scores, the game will end in a tie. Fourth quarter timing rules are in effect. Each team gets 2 timeouts, and all of the replays will be generated by the replay coordinator. New Orleans calls the toss. They call tails. It is heads. Washington has won the toss.
The overtime rules, you saw the coin toss. 15 minutes or less, sudden death. 2 timeouts per team. All replays coming from the booth upstairs. And of course, as we mentioned, first team to score wins. New Orleans Saints 11-0, trying to remain unbeaten. The Washington Redskins, who the last 4 weeks have played some pretty good football. They let a lead get away. Thomas Morstead will kick it off. Devin Thomas and Marcus Mason deep for Washington. Thomas, 3 yards deep, brings it out. And he is brought down as he crosses the 20-yard line. The Redskins start from the 20-yard line. See how their offense operates here in the overtime. 2 wide receivers left. The tight end Fred Davis splits wide right. Quentin Ganther, the running back. Campbell throwing short to Santana Moss, and he's brought down at the 30. It's a first down. Santana Moss with his 5th catch. The first 4 catches came on 1 drive for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't really exploited that matchup even more with Santana Moss against the rookie Malcolm Jenkins.
Usama Young replaces Roman Harper at strong safety for the Saints. Ganther, he picks up 5 up to the 35-yard line. Cedric Ellis makes the stop for the Saints.
I'll tell you who's had a nice day today is the right guard Mike Williams, and he's a pretty neat story, Sam. Remember, real high pick up in Buffalo and didn't work out for him. He came down here at the start of the season. When he came in here, he was well over 410 pounds, and I know lost 70 or 80 pounds to get himself in shape to be on this roster, getting another opportunity to start at right guard today, and he's played well.
There's 2nd and 5. Sellers in at fullback for the Redskins. Play fake. Campbell to Sellers, and he's upended, lost the ball. They ruled him down. He's ruled down by contact at around the 39-yard line. Chris McAllister came up to make the tackle.
And Sellers had a thigh injury earlier in the year, wearing those big old thigh pads. You could see it right there. And he's just going to catch a little out route, and it looked like McAllister just put his helmet and shoulder pads right through the thigh of Sellers. Was that ball out? That's the question. Or did the ground force the ball to come out?
Ooh, that's close.
Yeah, it's already coming out. That ball's already coming out.
Play coming on 3rd and a yard and a half, and they stop it with timeout.
First charge timeout, New Orleans.
Saints call timeout.
Correction, full timeout.
The previous play, the catch by Mike Sellers, is now under review.
Well, and it was a very smart timeout called by the Saints because it gives the officials up in the booth to review it. There's no doubt this ball is out before Sellers goes down. See, his elbow was not even touching down yet, and it looked like the football was already coming out.
There's another look here.
There he's getting chopped down. Looked like the left arm, looked like the left forearm was down before that ball started to get dislodged from that angle.
And again, the ruling on the field is he was down.
Yeah, that's down. Still down. Still down. Yeah, I think they got it right, Sam. I think they got it right on the field with his left arm, his left forearm being down. But it's really, really close.
And Sean Payton used the timeout here in overtime to allow the replay officials upstairs time to take a look at it. We are in overtime here in Landover, Maryland, where the Washington Redskins and New Orleans Saints tied at 30. The Saints 11-0 coming into the game, have never led in the game. The Redskins have led by 10 points 3 times. The Saints have rallied to come back, and they tied the game with a little over a minute to go in regulation time on a 53-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees to Robert Meacham.
Yeah, what allows them to have that opportunity, though, it was the Swisham missed field goal. New Orleans had no time left on the clock. If he makes that chip shot, it's a 2-score game with no timeouts, and they're probably already on the bus on the way to the airport.
Drew Brees staying loose.
Now here's the whole play here. Is, to me, it does look like Sellers' left forearm is down before that ball does come out. Now the caveat to down by contact is who recovers it. You've got to clearly be able to see who recovered it, and clearly it was the New Orleans Saints. And Chris McAllister comes up with the football.
And the other part of it is you must have conclusive evidence to overturn a ruling on the field, and the ruling on the field was down.
Well, and you saw the side judge immediately as that he was pointing at the ground that he was down before the ball came out.
Carl Jeffers has taken a long look at this one, and the discussion continuing as far as the officials are concerned. For the New Orleans Saints, they'll play in Atlanta next week, then they're home to Dallas and Tampa Bay, and finish up in Carolina, as they talked about their goals being winning the division, which they've done today. They want home field advantage, and they want to go to the Super Bowl. Those are their goals.
Well, and they want to see how good they can be. And you know what? As Carl Jeffers took a long time under there, don't be surprised if he comes out and turns this ball over to the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
After review, the receiver caught the ball and fumbled prior to being down by contact. It was recovered by a member of the defense. It will be New Orleans ball at the 37-yard line.
Wow.
Washington will be given their timeout back.
What a turnaround.
What a review by Sean Payton. If Sean Payton does not call a timeout, to give the booth an opportunity to review it, this doesn't happen. What a wise decision from Coach Payton. I still, though, boy, it looked like that left arm was down.
So the
before that ball came out, but nevertheless, Sam, it's New Orleans ball in great field position.
The review turns the ball over. Carl Jeffers explaining the ruling to Redskins head coach Jim Zorn. Drew Brees waiting for his chance to put his team in position to get the winning points. A fumble is ruled on Mike Sellers.
Incredible.
So once again, the Saints have come up with 3 takeaways in this game. They lead the NFL with 35 takeaways. 2 tight ends, Shockey and Thomas.
Because the replay resulted in a reversal.
Saints at the Redskins 37. Mike Bell, the running back. Two tight ends, one of them shift. That was David Thomas. Breeze rolling, throwing, and completes it to Devery Henderson at the 25-yard line. And they're in field goal range.
Again, caught him in off coverage. They're actually bringing pressure from the opposite side of Breeze. He rolled to the right. They changed the protection. And Meacham versus the soft coverage just runs a deep comeback route, puts him right in field goal range.
Drew Brees has now passed for 410 yards in the game. Mike Bell tripped up. Drew Doughty with a tackle. Bell down at the 24-yard line. For Drew Brees, his 5th career 400-yard passing game. Garrett Hartley staying warm. Garrett Hartley, who was picked up last season and was 13 for 13 field goal kicking for the Saints. Started this season with a 4-game suspension and was inactive for 7 games. This is his first active game this season. Two tight ends. 2nd and 9. Breeze drops it off to David Thomas. And London Fletcher takes him out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Saints.
Another very clever play, just getting a little more breathing room for Garrett Hartley and getting him a little closer for that field goal opportunity.
Right now it would be a 37 or 38-yard field goal try for Garrett Hartley.
Boy, if they can somehow keep this thing and then punch it through and get the victory here in OT, what an improbable comeback win for the New Orleans Saints.
Reggie Bush in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Breeze outside, completes to Colston. He's got a 1st down inside the 15-yard line. And now you're looking at a 31 or 32-yard field goal.
Here it comes. Bring them in now. Do not risk ball security anymore. Bring in the field goal unit, punch it through.
And that's what Sean Payton is doing. The New Orleans Saints, who have never led in the game, with a try to win the game. Garrett Hartley from 32 yards out. Brunell is the holder. And the Redskins call a timeout. What a day, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed it.
Now, if you're Sean Payton, probably not so sure at this point how you're feeling about that decision to set down Carney and bring up Hartley. It's a huge kick.
It was a 10-point lead for the Redskins when Hartley kicked this field goal to make it 30-23. And then Sweeson missed. That would have made it a 2-score game for the Redskins. So Breeze got a chance and went 80 yards, including a 53-yard pass to Robert Meacham to tie the game.
They brought the offense back out. Maybe they're going to try to center it up and get it to the other hash mark for Garrett Hartley.
Mike Bell, the running back. Behind David Thomas, cuts inside to the 5-yard line. Big run by Mike Bell. A 9-yard pickup. And the Saints are in position
Big
for
Jari,
an easy field goal.
Yep. Big Jari Evans, Sam, right out in front once again, leading the way.
Well, the offense stays on. It's 2nd and 1, just short of the 5. It's Bell. And he falls forward to the 2-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Saints at the Redskins 2. Well, maybe he doesn't want to put the pressure on the kicker.
This D-line is battered. He's got huge confidence, Payton, in his offensive line.
Bell dives in. He is just short. He is ruled just short of the goal line. Jim Zorn can only watch helplessly.
Pierre up over the top. Yeah, that's a good spot by the official. Comes down about the half-yard line.
2nd and goal.
Does Sean Payton have a lot of confidence in this offensive line and this
Without a
running
doubt.
game?
David Thomas lines up as a fullback. And a whistle. And the previous play under review as to the spot.
Well, here's what happens. Does anybody hit Mike Bell as he goes up in the air? Because if he jumped with nobody touching him and he comes down at the half-yard line and then rolls into the end zone, he's never down by contact. Touchdown. So let's see if anybody touches him as he leaves his feet. Okay, there. He's in the air. Is he touched by a defender? Looks like his hand right there. He touched a defender. Looked like Rocky McIntosh is who he touched. I think this spot will be right where they spotted it.
Tim, it would be so anticlimactic to end the game on a replay.
Again, you can't say enough about Sean Payton calling the timeout and forcing the booth, giving them extra time to look at that play again. That's the biggest play in this game so far, I'd have to say.
They overruled the ruling on the field that Mike Sellers was down by contact. They ruled a fumble. It gave the Saints the ball at the 37, and they are in position to win. Today's game was produced by Mike Burks, directed by Sandy Grossman, associate director Tom Yohe. The broadcast associate is Eric Mandia. Technical producer is Frank Phillips. Pre-game show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. In tape, Don Vermeulen and Pat Caballero. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill.
After review, the runner is touched by a defender and he is down short of the goal line. The ruling on the field is confirmed.
So now the Saints with the ball inches short of the goal line. And now the field goal kicker is coming on. So Garrett Hartley will get his chance to win the game. And this try will be from 18 yards out. Brunell, the holder. Jason Kyle, the long snapper. To go 12-0, and the Saints win it. And they called a timeout.
Second charge timeout. Washington, a 30-second timeout.
Well, they'll make Garrett Hartley kick it again.
Yep, they iced him. It's his first game out there, and Jim Zorn called the timeout over on the sideline. Now, you can't ice him twice. Oh, the ball was snapped before that whistle was blown. I know that.
The officials perhaps saw the timeout signal and called it right away.
Well, this isn't even close, though. Watch the ball get snapped and listen for the whistle. Yeah, that ball is already to the holder before you hear the whistle.
Well, here we are back live as Garrett Hartley goes for the win again, and the Saints win it in overtime. 33-30, they're 12-0.